Hello, Dexter Morgan.
We'd thought we said goodbye to Dexter, but it turns out this is only just the beginning. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, here to review the brand new Dexter Original Sin. It is Season 1, it's Episode 1, and this one is called And In the Beginning. But before we get into this prequel, before we talk about it, seen a lot of reviews, a lot of mixed reviews, some negative, some positive. I actually enjoyed this premiere of Original Sin. Haven't seen Dexter New Blood. I know that got a lot of hate as well, but yeah, I mean, if the show continues the way the premiere started, then I think we could be looking at a decent series that could be better than some seasons of the original.
Absolutely. Now, as a person here watching it that hasn't seen New Blood and hasn't seen half the show, I think, you've got to go into it with an open mind, of course. But this is a prequel, right? And people need to realise with prequels, they can't go all out. Yeah, there's a characters we know here, right? It's like the younger versions of them, right? But, you're not going to get them dying, because they can't die. These people are still alive current day, or their death is later down the road. So they are limited in that sense. But I thought it was very good. I enjoyed it. But again, I can't really comment too much on the downfall of Dexter and how bad New Blood is, because I haven't seen it. You haven't seen New Blood.
Well, we started with the downfall because it seems like we got a shot from New Blood where Dexter was shot and we all thought he died, and it turns out that is not true. We know there's a brand new show coming out, Dexter Resurrection, and the beginning of Original Sin actually takes you forward and basically spoils that Dexter is indeed still alive and that he's not dead. And I guess the very start of this show sets up the possibility of a sequel.
Yeah, and a sequel that is labelled Dexter Resurrection. And of course, there was a trailer for that earlier on today released. We're not going to react to it. Let's just react to it right now, because it was literally 15 seconds long, and all it said was, coming summer 2025. So there ain't going to be a separate video on Dexter Resurrection, but I think it's a good thing that he's back. New Blood obviously didn't exactly work out, but for me, I don't know whether or not there's going to be a season 2 of that. Hopefully there ain't, because I don't think it makes sense having it when you've got Resurrection. But 2 new Dexter shows to get stuck into. So let's begin with how this began. And it is, in the beginning, Dexter in an ambulance getting sent to a local medical facility. A wee bit of CPR. The heart is brought back to life, and so is Michael C. Hall.
Yeah, Michael C. Hall's back narrating this show, and I'm glad that he is, because I get it, you can't have Michael C. Hall playing a 20-year-old Dexter. They tried that in the original Dexter and it just didn't work. It looked like some old guy in a wig. It looked really, really weird. Michael C. Hall is like almost, 20 years older now from the beginning of Dexter, so it would look even weirder. But I think it works. I think this Patrick Gibson, I think he done a decent job as Dexter. And with Michael C. Hall being the inner voice of Dexter, it almost brings the character to life, I think. I could not imagine it without Michael C. Hall now that we've got him. And I just don't think Patrick Gibson narrating the voices inside of his own head would be anywhere near as good. So if you can't have Michael C. Hall physically play Dexter, then I think having him narrate the inner voices of Dexter, that's about the next best thing you can get. So I'm happy that they've done it that way, and also happy with the cast. I think that I think the best 2 cast members were probably Deborah and Masuka. Maybe it's easier to try and portray them because of their foul mouth, and they've got these little certain antics that they have and stuff like that, mannerisms. But I think that those 2 characters stood out to me. Yeah, we had Angel Batista, but I mean, he didn't really do anything in this episode. He was kind of just there in the background, but he did look good. He kind of wore the shirt, he kind of wore the hat. So I mean, it looked like Angel. You'd Harry Morgan, obviously, who is Harry Morgan. It's not played by the original Harry Morgan, but I thought Christian Slater done a decent job in there as well. And we had a couple of new characters in the form of Bobby Watt and Aaron Spencer, who I think did a pretty good part as well. Aaron Spencer seems to be the captain of the Homicide team. So yeah, I thought the actors did a pretty good job, and I've just seen a lot of negative reviews. But anyway, you're here for our review. Screw those negative reviews. It's time for Fog Entertainment to tell you how we feel about it.
Yeah, it's not going to be a negative review here, but Dexter is alive, and he's like, well, let's go into my past, because life flashes in front of your very eyes, and we go back down this corridor. And it's how the episode ended as well, with the whole down the corridor view, which I liked. So we're at a crime scene. We're in Miami. We've got the tunes. It's the early 90s. I mean, so I think sometimes this is cringe where it's like, right, we're in a time zone, we're in a time period, so let's just whip out the exact music that was playing at that exact year at that exact time. But we're here, crime scene, looks like there's a B&E going on, family members are dead. Tanya Martin, we're introduced to her straight away. CSI chief, we're introduced to Aaron Spencer. He wants answers. Are we going to get those answers? Big Harry working his magic. They were watching TV. It was on, but it was off. Let's get the remote. There's blood on the remote.
Yeah,
who could it be?
We've got Masuka there snapping shots. But see, when you look at like shows that are going back, prequels that are going back to the 80s and 90s, I always look at the clothing and the music and just everything about it. And I think it just looks a lot better than the current day stuff.
It had identity.
For me, people can argue, what generation's better? Would you rather live in the 2020s or would you rather live in like the 80s or 90s? And for me, it's like every time we see a show go back in time, like I just like the look, I like the set, and I like the sound. I just prefer everything.
No, I agree. I mean, honestly, I think the 2000s has its own vibe to it as well, but less of a vibe compared to the 90s and 80s. You look at like the 10s, the 2010s. What prequel's going to be ever set in the 2010s?
Yeah, it's like I know there's no. I don't think you're ever going to go back to. Like, there's just nothing stands out about them. It's just very bland, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you said, these other decades seem to have their own identity. I mean, well, in years to come, will this current decade that we're in, will that form an identity? But look at the identity. What is the identity of 2024?
Woke.
People twerking, people being woke, people identifying as a million different genders. Is that it?
Yeah, we're not going to have Harry Morgan.
No, we're not going to have
Christian Slater walking around.
We're not going to have Harry Morgan. We see Dexter. He's at med school and he's cutting into a body, but there's no blood. And I guess Harry thought this would be enough to, that appetite of Dexter. It would fill the appetite.
Sort the urge out.
Yeah, but it's not working. Dexter is cutting into these bodies. It's not really the same thing. Dexter wants real bodies, real people, real blood, real stuff.
Smile, Dex. Smile makes you happy.
Yeah.
What makes him happy? Well, not much makes Dexter happy, but he manages to get a smile about something here. And we later find out that Dexter likes to watch WrestleMania. That may be skipping ahead in the future, but did you think Dexter was a WrestleMania fan?
Well, no, but when they're calling him a geek in a nerd all episode, then I think it makes sense that they point out that here you are a wrestling fan. Although I would argue that watching wrestling back in this time period, it wasn't as nerdy and geeky and sad as it is watching wrestling in 2024.
Absolutely not. But it just shows you that even back then it was considered a wee bit geeky.
Yeah, it is. The first sit down with the Morgan family, I thought it was good. You got Deborah, obviously in her foul mouth. You got Harry Morgan there, just trying to protect what's left of his family. And you got Dexter just sitting awkwardly. Deborah talks about the cow and having steak, I guess, and says, hey, you should have could have killed it first. And I guess Harry likes his steak raw.
Well, he likes it blue. I don't like it blue. I like it somewhere in the middle. I don't mind it a wee bit pink, but I mean, come on, this did literally look like the cow was still alive. No.
Yeah. And can you see already that Harry? Not that he favours Dexter, but he just seems more concerned about Dexter, doesn't he? And rightfully so.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though he could argue,
got no secrets.
Even though he could argue, like as a father, like maybe he should be more worried about his daughter and her, like smoking and wanting to drink and go to parties and all this stuff. But Harry doesn't even fucking see that.
No.
So she basically says, Dexter tells Harry about this party. Deborah says that she's going. She says, look, let's avoid the small talk. You're going to say, I'm not going to go. I'm going to go anyway. And the world's not going to end. And Harry is like, I don't mind if you go. Just take Dexter with you. So he doesn't...
What? What the fuck?
It's not even like he wants Dexter to go to look after his sister. It's more he wants fucking Deborah to take Dexter to try and get Dexter to socialise and fit in and be around with the cool kids.
Will he be around with it? Well, I mean, he ain't a cool kid, but he has to fit in. He has to learn basic emotions. He has to learn how to fit in, what to say, what to do. But, I mean, be honest, at this party, what does Dexter do? He literally just sits on the couch and gets secondhand smoke blown in his face.
That is pretty much it. Deborah starts drinking, goes up to a room with some guy. Deborah's friend comes down, a bit concerned about her. Dexter then runs up to save the day, bashes through the door. You got Deborah passed out. Some guy looks like he's maybe about to jump on top of the bed, so Dexter throws him down the stairs. We get into a bit of a fight here. You can already see that in the original Dexter. Dexter's a guy that can certainly handle himself, even when he got into physical combat with Dokes, who was a a legit fighter. Dexter was more than a match. So
Hey, he's going to batter this guy every day of the week.
yeah, we can see that Dexter already at this point. He might be a nerd and he might be a geek and awkward, but it's not like he sits at home and he necessarily does those geeky things.
He must have learned these at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. And Dexter, WrestleMania is going to live forever. Dexter's going to live forever. He ain't going to lose to this guy. Beats him up, gets a bloody nose, and then he goes to possibly reach for this knife and get his first kill of the series, but Deborah then pushes Dexter off this guy, and they both get kicked out the house party. Deborah initially is mad with Dex, but then Dex explains the situation, and she forgives him, gives him a hug.
Yeah, gives him a hug. I mean, I think maybe the relationship between Deborah and Dexter is pretty much strained for the get-go in this show, but it's a teenager and a 20-year-old. That's what it's always going to be.
Why was Masuka not at this party? That's what I want to know.
Well, why was Masuka not at this party? But speaking of Masuka, we did get introduced to him earlier in the episode, but Dexter gets introduced to him at some, fair, where it's like a sample thing of what job you could get at your college, and basically we just see Masuka taking pictures of everybody, and I say everybody, the women.
Yeah, he's taking pictures of these women. He's like, here, do you want me to show you this, show you that? And they're not really interested. Then Dexter's trying to talk about some of the photographs, some of the crime scenes that are in the background, but Masuka's not really interested in Dexter. He tells him to move out the way, you're cock blocking me here. Then we get some goth chick that is looking on, and she's walking past, and Masuka says, do you want me to show you my 9-inch nail? And she just walks off, and Masuka calls her a poser. I really like the dialogue from Masuka in this episode. This wee guy plays him down to a part. I think if this guy shaved his head, it would actually look like the real Masuka.
Yeah, I mean, he's got everything. I think he's probably the best. I think him and Deborah, as you said there, I think the file mouth is probably the easier thing to manage. I mean, who would you say this entire episode did the best?
I think Masuka.
Who's the worst?
Well, I mean, I'd probably say Angel maybe, but he didn't. I think he looked good. He just didn't. Did he even have words? He may have had one or two lines. A bit of dialogue here, a bit of dialogue there.
Yeah, but obviously Batista at this stage of the games, I don't know how long he's been in the force, but he's probably very raw. There's a lot of guys above him.
I don't think anybody did bad, I'll put it that way. But I do think Masuka was the standout.
No, I think Masuka was the standout as well, but I thought he rubber-deered Dexter here. Turns out he actually took these things into his wee brain because he heard Dexter talk about the pictures, just didn't acknowledge it.
He was too busy looking at it for the women.
Absolutely, but we will go on a hunting trip, won't we?
Yeah, we all go on a hunting trip after they come home from the party. Dexter and his dad go on a hunting trip, hoping to try and stop that urge for Dexter. But Dexter admits to his father that the hunting trips don't do anything for him anymore.
I need to do more.
I need to kill. I need a person. Harry though tells Dexter once you kill someone, you can never take that back. But it's the same thing for an animal, isn't it? I mean, if Dexter goes out and kills a boar and feels bad about it, he can't exactly just rewind time and the boar's alive. Yeah,
and then what we see here is pretty much Dexter's like, yeah, I need to kill more. But then Harry's arse goes.
Yeah, Harry takes a heart attack now. Is it the realisation that he's creating a monster, he's creating a killer here? Or is it the bad lifestyle that Harry's living at this point in time? Could be a bit of both. Harry is rushed to the ER. He is taken in. And we basically see the doctor from the original Dexter that was slowly killing Harry. So she's giving Harry, and I don't even think she doesn't reveal what she's injecting him with, but we see that after Deb and Dexter go to visit their father, Dexter's still struggling to show emotion. Deborah's annoyed that she never got to say goodbye in the morning. She never got to say I love him, and Dexter's thinking, I never said that either.
What did you make of see this scene with the hunting scene? Was this not also in the original show? I'm pretty sure I can vividly remember Dexter, Michael C. Hall wearing a wig on a hunting trip.
Probably did. I think it could have been numerous.
What I liked about this though is we also seen a bit more backstory into Harry, in that how his original son in the original Sin show drowned in the swimming pool.
Yeah, so which I never even knew.
Which maybe explains why he's a bit more protective of Dexter.
Possibly. I didn't even know Harry had a son, or had a son before Dexter. But you think this would maybe be revealed. It's strange that Dexter and Deborah, like all the, you think of all the things that they go through, and especially you look at Deborah and she goes back in the family tree and all the investigation that she does into her father in the original show. It's like, it's crazy to think they didn't know they had, or maybe they did know and they just didn't decide to mention it.
Yeah, see, maybe...
Or could this be with a different, was this with a different woman maybe?
Maybe they'll find it in Original Sin, and therefore there's no real need to talk about it. And
yeah, that's a possibility.
But that's the problem you've got with these prequels. It's like you have to go off the current timeline, and then how much do you reveal the fact that they're actually being idiotic about not to talk about things like that?
And then any new things that you add, you're always wondering why was that never once brought up in the original show. But anyway, yeah, we do see that, and then we get the woman, the doctor. She is slowly killing Harry day by day,
and she's got her own trophies.
Yeah,
she's got the newspaper cutouts. Dexter managed to figure that out himself. So.
After he bought a new, smart for Dexter, that he managed to he bought a newspaper, and we all, because Dexter used the same tactic as this. Well, not exactly the same tactic, but we've seen earlier when he's got like this fucking adult magazine as a decoy, but inside of it he's got all these like serial killer
John Wayne Gacy,
all these serial killer clippings and stuff like that. And then Deborah walks in when he's obviously, and he closes it because he doesn't want her to see the serial killings, and it just looks like he's reading an adult mag. So I mean, Dexter and this doctor here kind of have the same thing going on.
He doesn't want it. He only wants pain. Harry wants the pain. Here comes the pain. He looked like John Cena in the original. Doesn't look like him in this one, but you know what? Here comes the pain. Harry wants all the pain. He doesn't want the injections. He wants to live.
Yeah, so Dexter stops the doctor from giving the injections. He said he needs it. And then Harry's like, no, I want to feel the pain. Give me the pain. And she says that, okay, your doctor ain't going to be happy about this. The real doctor. So, yeah, Dexter then talks to Harry, and Harry says, you got to stop her. You got to stop her from giving me more of that stuff, Dexter. And Dexter finds out through his med school teacher that the stuff that she is injecting into Harry will slowly kill him, but it's not going to be traced. So that's why she's getting away with this. She's able to inject this into people and it slowly kills them, but it doesn't actually leave a trace in the body. And God knows how long she's been doing this, but Dexter does break into her house, and he goes through like this like notepad basically that she's got, like a book of killings. She's got her own kill book, and he sets up the kill room, plastic. She comes home, walks in, Dexter attacks her, struggles, gets her on the table. She claims that she was helping people by putting them out their misery, essentially, but Dexter doesn't really believe that. Meanwhile, Deborah is playing her volleyball game in high school. Dexter said he would show up, but obviously he's not showed up because he's too busy killing. Getting his first kill of the series, which is more important, I think, than seeing Deborah score a few points.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I think Deborah's team wins in the end, but she is going to hold this against Dexter, but Dexter puts the nurse out of her misery, and it's his first kill. Yeah, what was better, Original Sin or Dexter?
I don't know, because in Dexter just focused on that, but in this it was intervening between Deborah and Dexter, and then you've got the announcer
Deborah for the kill, or no, Morgan for the kill.
Yeah, it's Morgan scores points, and then it's Dexter. He's like, Morgan for the kill, and it was, I don't know, I thought it was a little bit funny there. So I mean, I think both scenes were good from the original and Original Sin.
Yeah, so you can kind of see how this has been labelled as like a remake almost, because you are getting a lot of scenes that are remade. But I thought this was pretty good. His first kill. Boom.
I mean, that's the one criticism I did see of the opening episode, just people saying it was rehashed and they've wasted all these characters on basically just telling the same story that we already know. But I mean, I wouldn't go that far. Just because you're showing some things, it's like that could just be trying to tie certain things up. Because I think I'm not sure. I don't think that's what the whole show's going to be. But in the original Dexter, it's made clear that this nurse is Dexter's first kill. So I think that
it only makes sense to show that in their prequel.
Yeah, I mean, Dexter can't really go killing. I don't think it would make sense for him to go kill. I think it's like a good idea for them to actually start this show with his first kill.
Like, it also showed you at the beginning, like, his mother giving birth to him. We've already seen that.
Yeah, but
it's still a good thing to show.
I think in the remaining 9 episodes, I don't think they're going to show just repeats of what we've seen in the original. Oh, I think that was just in the premiere to try and set it up, build a foundation.
No, I agree.
So I know people are complaining about that. But it is what it is. Harry then looks a lot better since he's not been injected anymore. He gets taken out of hospital. He's getting wheeled out. Deborah's making fun of Dexter, and he was the way he was at his graduation. She actually showed up despite being angry with him. She showed up to his graduation, even though he didn't show up to her volleyball team. And they take Harry Morgan home. Harry is going back to House Morgan.
And again, I remember this scene where he was getting spun around town in the Dexter original show. We also had scenes where the police force, they dropped off food, but they all fucked it in the bin anyway. And Masuka and then Tanya basically said, Dexter.
Yeah, I didn't get that scene. I mean,
because the food's unhealthy, but I thought it was a pretty dick move. They could have had it.
Yeah, but that was before Harry got out.
Yeah.
Was it not?
No, it was.
So and Dexter was eating the donuts and muffins.
I don't know. But, he disposed of the body at the Crocodile Creek, and, Harry has a wee cry to himself later that night after he's released. But anyway, a bit of time has passed because he shaved the hair, or maybe he just decided to shave the hair for the new job, I don't know. But
yeah, he got off
Harry's
the new job.
back. Dexter arrives in the building for the first time. Pretty great scene. Now, I've already reacted to this sneak peek on YouTube on our channel, so you take it away. What was your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it was great. Harry's coming back. Harry gets welcomed by all of his colleagues, and Dexter's just kind of standing there looking on, going, oh, my dad's got all these friends and I've got nothing. But in comes Vince Masuka, and he's like, oh, welcome, newbie. I'm going to show you around. Dexter, once again, gets to meet Tanya, who we find out is the head of the forensics. So, yeah, she meets her, then Masuka takes them into their little room. I guess this is the office that they're going to share.
You notice how different the room is, though?
Aye.
I bet you Dexter is the guy that puts in motion to have it a bit more secluded.
Oh, absolutely. Aye, it's too open.
It's far too open.
Way too open.
Dokes would have had a field day with this room.
Yeah, even there's no blinds or nothing. It's just, Dexter will be, I think he'll be personalising this and getting it nice and confined and heading away. And
But what I liked about this episode as well is like you've also got the fact that zoomed out, it mirrored the start of the episode. You also have like the storyline where the cops are going after the serial killer guy, Mad Dog. He got arrested. I mean, not exactly the greatest storyline ever, but I like that. It's a lot of Hings paying, homage to the original show. But that's pretty much it. I thought it was pretty good. Was it fantastic? No. Was it bad? No. I do not understand why there's so many negative reviews. For me, it's a straight down the 7 out of 10 alley. I'll give it a 7.
I'm going to get an 8. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I liked it, and hopefully the rest of the episodes can continue.
But do you not think, though, right? I understand why people can think it's just a remake being rehashed, right? But considering how much flashback stuff there was in Dexter, should they not utilise that?
Yeah, I think it'd be dumb if they didn't.
It's like Game of Thrones, right? Look how much stuff they talked about in the past for like the Mad King. You see if they did a prequel, right? You would want all of it to stay true. It's the same with Better Call Saul. You wanted all the stuff that they said in Breaking Bad to be in it. It's the same with Sons of Anarchy. See all the stuff about the first 9 and things before. You want it to stay true to what the actual characters in the OG show said. See this? Oh, we don't want it. We want to change the scenes up. Why the fuck would Original Sin actually change what happened from the original show?
Yeah, they've got all these foundations that they can build on from the original show. Why would they just like scrap them?
Yeah.
Plus, it would compromise the original show if they didn't include certain things, like we said about Dexter's first kill. If Dexter starts killing people in this show and we don't see the nurse, it's gonna take away from that.
Absolutely.
So anyway, guys, I liked it. I give it an 8. You give it a 7. It's 7.5 out of 10. We will react to the sneak peek for episode 2. I think the promo is out for that. And,
Kid in a candy shop.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts down below. We'll catch you in the next one. Been Fog Entertainment. Thanks for watching and peace. Dexter is like a kid in a candy store, but which flavour of candy is he going to choose next? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, here to review Dexter Original Sin Season 1, Episode 2, and this one was indeed titled A Kid in a Candy Store, and that is how Dexter describes his life in Miami, in the department, when he's got all these cases that were unsolved, he's got all these murderers on the loose, all these bad guys that he can potentially take down, and it's probably the best Christmas he's ever had.
It is, because there's blood, there's bodies, there's all that stuff, he's around it, but he doesn't quite get to do it.
Yeah, now, it may not be Christmas time in the show, but it is the 22nd of December, right here, right now. So Merry Christmas to everybody who's watching 3 days early.
It's exactly, guys. You know what? It's that great. It's that great. They gave us 2 episodes.
Yeah, so I want to mention that there. We're getting 2 episodes of Dexter Original Sin this week, so expect the 3rd episode to be reviewed later tonight. But anyway, let's get into episode 2.
And we may upload it on Christmas Day just to celebrate Dexmas.
No, we're not. No,
we're not doing that.
No, we're not. I just said it's going to be uploaded later, so definitely not Christmas Day. Ain't been delayed 3 days.
Anyway, talking of not being delayed, this episode begins where last episode ended. He's spinning on the seat, spin a Rooney time. Booker T would be proud of this one. Then he's quickly interrupted by Tanya Martin. Right, you want a tour? And she's like, boom, boom, boom. He's like, here, my lab at the college had more than this. She's like, yeah, I had to sell my kidney for a box of pens. And walks out. And that's pretty much the introduction.
I refuse to believe that. There's no way this forensic lab could have less than his school. But this would describe why, what is it, like, only 10%, 18%
of
murders are solved.
Yep. So, you know, that's 82% are unsolved.
That's a lot.
No, that is a lot. But obviously, back in these times, you know, 91, technology, they didn't quite have it, CCTV. It makes sense, doesn't it? It was easier to get away with things.
It probably was. Like, back in the day, you could probably get away with being a... Well, even though a lot of the real-life serial killers tend to be from the older generation. I'd say it's pretty hard to get away with stuff like that nowadays.
Absolutely, but he sees a picture when he goes through the whole system. Tony Ferreira and a few of his murders, potential murders. We'll be back with that later on when he's drinking in the bar with Batista, who's 30 years old, even if Harry thinks he's 20.
Yeah, so we see Dexter go to his first crime scene. He tags along, he gets in, he looks at the evidence, and he manages to determine that the shooter was indeed standing in front of the victim. You can tell from the blood splatter. He even gives the model of the gun and all this stuff, to which Tanya Martin calls over Bobby so Dexter can explain it again. Then Bobby calls over Batista so he can explain it. And before we know, everybody at the crime scene is getting called over so Dexter can reveal what he knows about the case. But every time he explains it, he's obviously doing it in a lesser detail. And by the time he's explained it to everybody, they're kind of just like ripping the piss out of him, as if we can tell that. Obviously, we know due to the gunpowder that the shooter was close. But you know what? For me, they were busting his balls there. Because I think Dexter, considering this as his first crime scene, I think he gave just having a quick look at it, I think he gave a pretty good description of what actually happened.
Yeah, he says a small caliber pistol, right, to Tanya Martin. Also, the blood sprayed this way and covered the victim, so obviously there's blood on him. I think him saying about especially the blood splatter, right, I think that's stuff that Bobby and the other guy wouldn't have got. Now, maybe Masuka and Tanya would have got that, but is that information that Big Bobby would have got?
Well, it probably is, to be fair, is it not? I mean, the guy's been there for a long time. But I do think...
No, but watching the original Dexter, like, Dexter says, like, some simple stuff that even, like, you know, the likes of Quinn and Batista, who, by the way, was pissing himself at this, wouldn't really pick up. I'm not saying they couldn't pick up. I don't think what Dexter said here was ridiculous. And also, Tanya Martin's entire gimmick is, you know, I'm a female in this department. You know, the men out there, they're bad, they're this, or I've always got to work twice as hard. That shite. So here she is.
That's Maria's.
Well, it's Maria's, but it may as well be Tanya's. But she spoke about that as well, though, kinda as well. And it's like, I just felt a wee bit out of character for her to bury Dexter. I get it, right? First day in the job.
Yeah, I would have given him a bit of appraisal.
Yeah, I don't think what he said here was ridiculous. He said, yeah, it's a gunshot wound to the head, and they're like, oh yeah, I wouldn't have caught on to that, the gunpowder mark. Yeah, but he said it was a small caliber pistol. He didn't say, it looks like he got shot. Yeah, because that would have been retarded, because we can clearly see that he's been shot.
Yeah, no, I thought Dexter did pretty good here on his first crime scene when he was allowed to actually inspect the scene. Before that, he was sent over to get donuts and to get coffees.
Banana bread.
Harry then tells Dexter, don't worry about it, you know, it's your first day on the job. They're just you know, having a laugh, and he tells Dexter to try and fit in. We later see them go to a restaurant where they're getting food. Dexter saves a seat. He's saving 3 seats for them. Some guy that looks awfully like Brian. The ex-truck killer wants to sit down. Dexter says, these seats are for my friends, and he thinks that's weird because he's never said that before. Then they get down, and he tries to fit in, and he makes a joke about Bobby being like one more, you know, like, was it sandwich away from a heart attack, and the table just kind of goes silent, and like, Like, Dexter, your dad just had a heart attack.
That's pretty morbid, huh?
And then he realizes that here, maybe this whole fitting in thing isn't as easy as it seems.
Might not be, but again, here, it is going to be. But this is Big Bobby here. I think it's like, it's alright for them to break Dexter's balls, but he can't break theirs. I don't think it was that bad. If he can joke about Harry, then they can joke about Harry.
Exactly.
They were joking earlier about Harry. Oh, you have to suck lollipops now. You can't smoke.
Yeah. Next day, then Dexter brings in a vegetable platter, which would not be my go-to platter, but he brings it in, trying to get on the good side again. Maybe play down on the heart attack jokes, but nobody wants the platter. Nobody wants any vegetables. Pretty much everybody in the department is like, we don't eat that shit. He then has to go and speak with Camilla Fig, and Camilla Fig says she's going to help him with that platter, but of course she ain't going to eat any of it. She chucks it straight in the bin. Dexter
gets hee-haw. The original sin in the bin, alright? And obviously of all the people in the department, she's the least likely to go for the vegetables.
Well, I don't think Dexter wanted any of it. I'm pretty sure he brought it in just to try and fit in.
No, of course he did, but here, what if he wanted some though? Camilla's just fucked it in the bin.
Yeah, Camilla's fucked it in the bin. Harry then goes with Batista, and he wants to know if Batista can take out Dexter and mingle with him a little bit. He says that Dexter's a wee bit socially awkward. Batista's like, yeah, sure, why not? He then looks over at Masuka and goes, should I invite Masuka too? He's younger than me. I mean, he's younger than him. He's pretty much the same age as Dexter, but we look over and Masuka is pretending to hump some lady that is bending over, I think, getting something out of a photocopier. And Harry's like, you know what, maybe I don't want him to be exposed too much to Masuka. I mean, Masuka does that in 2024. It's probably a dismissal.
Lawsuit, yep. Dismissal, lawsuit, all of that. 1991. It was alright. You can do it, Masuka.
Yeah, I guess you can get away with that shit. We see Dexter go out with Batista. Batista's having some drinks. Dexter's not allowed any drinks. Batista teaches Dexter how to dance a little bit, which was awkward.
It was awkward.
But,
1, 2, 3, 4, amigo, señor, le passion.
Yeah, Batista is oozing the le passion, and Dexter's just moving forward, moving backwards, not really going anywhere.
We introduced Batista's cousin as well. He wasn't in Dexter, was he? So
nah,
something might happen to him, but he also tells him pretty much the memorial on the wall for the guy. Some guy killed him. Loan shark Tony Ferreira, amigo.
Yeah, so Batista gives a description of what happened, describes that the guy came over here, like most immigrants, he borrowed money for the wrong person, that person wanted it back, he put on, high interest fees, the guy couldn't pay it, he then ended up shooting the guy's mother, and then the guy killed himself later at his mother's funeral because, why the hell not? He felt responsible for his mother's death. I believe his name was Rene. Now, Dexter had already seen this case when he was looking through the library, so to speak. Well, not a library, but
the records.
The records.
Where Camilla is, that great place. So is he going to be next for Dexter? It looks that way. Also, this episode, we did see get a lot of Harry flashbacks, so it's like a flashback within a prequel back to... It was some point in the 70s. I think it might have been 1978, right? Which puts Dexter at what? Well, actually, probably a bit before. I think it was 1973, actually. Which puts Dexter about 2 years old. So obviously we see him meet Laura Moiser. We're introduced to the cartel and how they think the recent kidnapping of a judge's son is linked to that. What do we make of that? That cartel. Do we want to see the cartel brought into Original Sin? Big Dirty Harry getting onto the cartel?
Why not? Go more in detail. I know we're going to get Estrada, so Hector, why not?
And we see the introduction of basically Harry meeting Dexter. I'm going to assume this has to be the first time ever. But Dexter, for you, looked a wee bit too old.
Yeah, I thought it didn't really add up, but then we see Harry speaking with Laura, and he's like, I can get you back to your kids, as long as you can do something for me. So, looks like that's the beginning of Laura Moser becoming Harry's informant, because they can't get anybody that's in the cartel to snitch. No one's going to snitch, so they're going to get Laura to basically snitch, even though she's not in it. And no one will really suspect her.
I like this, so right, you know what, we're giving a lot of time to Harry. And I think he is the guy to give a lot of time to in this show. There's so many flashbacks in the original show about Harry, you may as well give half the show to Harry.
Yeah, no, definitely. We also seen Harry and Detective Patrick Dempsey, who is the What's his title again? Is he Lieutenant?
I think he is Lieutenant.
I think he is Lieutenant. LT, Patrick Dempsey.
LT, boy!
They're at some court case. Some guy is pleading not guilty. So we'll see if he goes down or not. Also, Deborah, we've seen her with her friend. She stole Dexter's rings that he took from his first kill. Nurse Mary, I think she was called.
And she fake.
Yeah, she tried to pawn them, wasn't offered anything. She was then offered $250 for her mother's necklace, and in the end, she was like, fuck it. My dad tells me I need to move on. I'm going to move on. And she pawns the necklace, which I thought was in pretty bad taste. But she's seen her friend Sophia with money, and I guess she wanted money as well, so...
Yeah, a lot of this hatred here. I mean, I'll tell you what, they're doing a good job of making the relationship between Deborah and the top two Morgans feel very strained.
Yeah, it's fractured almost, because... Fractured.
Hey, Daddy-o, you better get that cigarette-stained shirt off you, boy.
Yeah, she walks in after making dinner. All she hears is, don't tell Deb.
No, I tell you what, though,
Something that she's apparently heard a lot.
I think Harry is a bit of an arsehole towards Deborah. But I think she's an arsehole towards him. He should include her more.
I can see why he doesn't, though.
Yeah, but there's no... He can still continue the stuff he does with Dexter, but, like, doing stuff with Deborah at the same time.
True. And it seems like since their mother died, she's been neglected. We also seen a flashback where Harry and Doris, they attempted to have another kid after the first child died.
Good news, honey. There's a real hit with the cartel case. And I thought it was divorce papers almost, but no, it was negative. No child carrying here for Doris.
I mean, at this point, it doesn't really look like Harry and Doris have a future, but I mean, obviously that's not true. They go on to live happily. Well, maybe, I don't know if they were happy or not, but they obviously go on to live, the marriage life for at least another, 15 years?
Yeah, something.
I would have to assume.
Something in that ballpark throughout this episode, though. We do see the judge's son being handed different stuff. The final one is like, what's not a basement, whatever he's in.
Yeah, he's getting food, and the last time he goes to hand in food, he grabs the kid's arm, pulls it, and I'm going to believe he cuts a finger off or something like that, or at least draws blood, because we heard some sort of slicing gimmick going on.
And we don't know who it is. I mean, we can't even hazard a guess, really. I mean, all it's pointing towards is the cartel, but I've got a feeling it's just going to be some sick and twisted guy. I can't imagine Dexter going up against the cartel in Original Sin.
No. So, what cartel? You talking about the same cartel that killed his mother?
I don't know if it'll be the same cartel, but I'm on about the cartel that featured in Harry's flashbacks, which probably is the same.
That is the same cartel?
Yeah, it's the same cartel, so it probably would be.
Well, I doubt Dexter's going to go up against them, is he?
I'm not saying he's going up against the whole cartel, but I think he's going to have something to do with the murderer here of the judge's son, potentially.
Right, well, anything else you want to add?
Well, I mean, the episode pretty much just ended with the three of them in their bedrooms.
Yeah, we get some, classic music, which is pretty good. It was...
Step by step.
Alice in Chains, I believe.
Yeah, no, we did see that. I mean, Harry, the whole, here, we'll give meth to a cocaine addict, and that's essentially what Dexter is. But Harry's not that best pleased with Dexter.
Yeah, Dexter tries to compare...
Nicotine kit as well.
Yeah, Dexter tries to compare Harry's smoking addiction to Dexter's killing addiction. Harry's like, yeah, let's not compare the two of them. Then we get the ending montage, where the ending scene where Harry has the nicotine patches that he isn't using, and there's just about 20 cigarette butts stubbed out in his ashtray. We have Deborah just, I believe, on the phone, not her laptop. Didn't have a laptop back then.
Twisty phone for the intro.
Yeah, she's on the phone in bed, and then we cut to the final bedroom, and it's Dexter just sitting there getting ready to, getting ready for his second kill, and he's talking about the dark passenger. Hello, darkness, my old friend, and that is where the episode ended. So, I mean, I thought there was some good comedy in this, and obviously it showed you Dexter's first day at the job, and you felt like we got introduced more to the other characters. I think Batista got more screen time in this episode, which is good, because I felt like he got very little in the opener. Unfortunately, I don't think Masuka got as much screen time in this one, but I still think that they're probably in the stage of where they're trying to introduce characters, and I think they did a decent job of that. But I mean,
we've got to bear in mind, man, there's going to be a lot of people watching this that probably haven't even watched the original Dexter. They're pushing this on Paramount Plus. Yeah,
they're pushing it heavy, they're pushing it hard. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Still yet to get introduced to La Guerta, but I believe that's going to be episode 3. So, yeah, we'll see what happens then. Overall, though, I mean, I thought it was decent. I didn't think it was as good as the premiere, but I still enjoyed it. I'm going to get a 6 out of 10.
I'll get a 6 out of 10. I thought the episode was pretty good, but I think the ending was a bit weak. I was expecting Dexter's bedroom to be empty, man. Maybe WrestleMania on in the background for a bit of a decoy, but no, and then just end it.
Yeah, I thought Dexter's window would be open or something.
Aye.
He would have. Although Dexter seems like the kind of guy that would have closed the window.
And that's the problem here. It's like, in Dexter, he gets in with Rita, and then it's like, oh, it's hard to excuse him leaving the house when he's got kids. But here, he's in the spare room with Harry. How can he leave without anyone knowing he's going to kill people?
Also, I mean, Dexter at this age, is it more likely that he's not going to be able to take down people as easily, is he?
He is 20, though. You know, he's not...
Yeah, but I don't know if he's done
Different if he was 15 or something.
Yeah, but Dexter's mentioned the fact he's done all this training. I don't know if he's done it till this point.
He looked pretty good in episode 1, battering that guy, though.
Well, he did, but I mean, that guy could have been just some punk.
But what we see, though, it's like, most of his takedowns are injections, aren't they?
True, but I would say in the original he can handle himself.
No, he can absolutely handle himself, but we'll see how it goes, guys. It's a 6 out of 10. Maybe they knew this ending was going to be a wee bit weak because they knew it was going to be a double Christmas special.
Or maybe they just thought, you know what, we can't end every episode with a kill or
That
a
could be it as
cliffhanger.
well,
So.
but the fact is, if you watch this in 3 years or 10 years' time, you wouldn't know about this Christmas shit, so it's no real excuse, is it?
No, anyway, they're setting up, I don't think that's the reason. They're setting up
No,
for
I
the
know
next...
it's not the reason, but it is what it is.
They're setting up for the next episode and we'll have that out tonight. That's it, guys. Till then, peace. Original Sin is back, but which sins is Dexter going to be committing? Well, he's just turned Handsome Tony into Headless Tony. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. It's episode 3, Un, deux, trois, but it's only a 2 kill for Dexter. So he's averaging less than a kill per episode.
It's more like uno, dos, tres, because we speak Spanish here in Miami, don't we? A wee bit of Spanish in there.
Aye, true. Just throw my French out the window. Nobody wants the French, but here,
They wave the white flags.
it might be episode 3, but we do get the second Dexter victim. And I tell you what, this is an impressive takedown, I think, for Dexter. Wasn't expecting his second kill to be this tough loan shark with money and a gun and... Alright, I know, it's America, everybody carries guns. But, you know, I thought that Dexter would have... I thought he would have set his sights a little bit smaller in the beginning. But I think this Handsome Tony is a pretty big kill for a young Dex.
It is a pretty big kill, but I guess if he went round killing, you know, people the same stature and Nurse Mary for like the first 5 years of his killing spree, he'd look a bit pathetic, so you may as well go big. Go big or go home.
Yeah, so look, let's just break down the whole Handsome Tony thing. We continue where episode 2 left off. Dexter tries to get in with Tony. He goes to one of these sports games. Now, I don't even know the name of this sport, but you're basically getting a racket with a ball at the end of it and you're bashing it off a wall.
Yeah, it's like Jalais or something it's called. You gotta fake that ID for Masuka. Patrick Bateman, nice wee touch, the American Psycho.
Yeah, goes there, tries to, you know, make some small talk with Handsome Tony about, oh, this is a good game, but then Handsome Tony, he wasn't born yesterday. He realises that Patrick Bateman doesn't, well, he wasn't born yesterday either, but he wasn't born at all. The guy's not even real, but he realises that Patrick Bateman doesn't know shit about this sport, and that he only wants to talk to him because he wants a favour. Patrick, aka Dexter, says, don't leave, I need money. So he gets a loan, he lies, he says it is for a job interview. So Tony's like, well, let's make it a nice round $500. Instead of the $300, he's getting $500 because apparently that's the price of a suit in America. Especially, I mean, back then you could have probably got a nice suit for $20. Nowadays you probably need about 20 grand.
No, you couldn't even get a tie for $20 now, but Jesus Christ, it's a lot of money to be spending on a suit. But Dexter, he goes about this, you know, he goes to the bar, he's playing pool, he loses, your money, I say, I just went to that guy, then Big Tony, right, outside, let's party, big man, let's party. Takes him outside, shoots him in the hair, skims his hair.
Yeah, bullet goes
Any
into,
loose hair, like, is out the window here?
bullet goes into the tree. And don't worry, Dexter retrieves that bullet and he matches it to the bullet that killed Renee's mother.
Renee. That sounds a bit French though. Renee.
Yeah, well, Renee, who cares? Anyway, he matches the bullet, so he has proof because Batista...
It's quite an extreme length to go to.
Yeah,
You could have just stole the gun.
I mean, Batista never had 100% proof, but now Well, I mean, I guess you could argue this doesn't give you 100%, but it gives him enough. This gives Dexter enough proof that
just because it's his gut. But then at the end of the day, right, we knew he was going to get proof here because as the original show goes, it takes him quite a while to kill a guy that was actually innocent.
Yeah, so I mean, we knew that Dexter was going to get proof here. He figures out that Tony Ferreira is the guy. It's the same gun, same bullet. Then we see him break into his house. The guy's got a parrot. Hello, honey, I'm home. Gets into a bit of a brawl with Tony Ferreira. Tony Ferreira fights back. But Dexter gets him in a chokehold, takes him down, chokes him out. Then he wakes up and he is in this. He's against the wall, obviously tied up with the plastic wrap. But he's like in the school or the hall, the sports hall, and
the Gillette Hall.
And I don't think this is a good idea. What if there's a janitor working night shift or something? Did Dexter really take care of all the cameras, assuming there is cameras? This wasn't a smart idea. Surely you do it in his home. I get it, I got the point of doing it here, like, and to intimidate him with this ball can take a head off at 200 miles an hour. But really?
He could have done that in a smaller room.
He dragged this guy to this big hall. Who knows about any witnesses that he could have...
Cameras back 91. I mean, Harry wanted to tag along, but Dexter said, no, you're not ready.
A bit weird, young Dex saying to his dad that you're not ready for this, but...
I almost feel with Dexter, though, he almost should have been way more careful in the beginning. I feel like as the later seasons go on in the original show, he gets a wee bit more sloppier.
Yeah, but for me, that's been his second kill, and he's doing it inside this big, like, sports hall. I mean, I thought that was dumb. Should have did it in the guy's house. Nice
I thought his house looked like it was prepped for this.
Yeah, nice and secluded.
You let the parrot go?
The fact that he dragged them all the way here to do this when, like, there could have been people working late or whatever, it just doesn't make any sense to do it in a public building. But anyway, in the end, Tony Ferreira's trying to beg for his life. He's like, I give you money, I say. But Dexter's like, money's not going to feed my urge. And then he just takes his head off. Big nice slice.
Didn't cover himself with anything though, the blood goes everywhere, all over him. That's another sloppy thing. Clothes covered in Big Tony's blood.
Well, maybe he could just bin the clothes, I guess,
Yeah, he could maybe burn them, bin them, whatever, but I mean, we've seen Dexter in the past, or future Dexter at this point, wearing big raincoats and all that stuff. Easy to bin.
Again, he goes to his familiar, well, I say familiar, he's only used it once, but here, maybe this is going to be the site that he used. Although, I mean, surely sooner or later, you just can't keep putting the same bodies in the same little lake. I get it, there's alligators in there and they could eat them, but I don't know, you need to change up a wee bit. But he dumps Tony in the lake, the alligators come in, but they don't eat one of his hands, and then his hand pops up and it's got a ring on it, so I guess this guy could be identified now. Maybe the alligator won't eat it because of said ring, although I don't believe that. I think the alligator would just eat the ring anyway. I can't imagine the alligator's not going to eat this full human arm just because there's a ring on it.
Yeah, obviously this is to be found, right? Look, float it back to the top, but you're right. I think the alligator would eat it. The crocodile alligator, they would eat it, right? They would 110% eat it. Even with it floating back to the top, you try to tell me they wouldn't go to the surface and just fucking eat it anyway? It's a limb that's leaking blood. They love flesh. They love eating meat. Why not eat the ring?
Why not?
You got the ring, I got City fucking Hall.
Miguel, good times, right? Anyway, LaGuerta, she is arrived. She's here. She's in Miami. Keno goes on a whole woke speech, and I don't know, maybe it was like this back in the day, but she basically said that murders, that homicides that with coloured victims don't get as much attention, and they don't get all the press releases, and they don't, there's not as much money basically or effort being put into them to try and solve them as there would a white kid. I disagree with that, man. Harry doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's going to discriminate.
You know the problem is here,
and
right?
neither's Dexter. Dexter's not going to discriminate. I mean, both Dexter's victims so far have been white.
See, maybe once upon a time, I think this is absolutely correct. I just don't think it's happening in the early 90s. I think the key...
Agreed.
I think the key thing...
Timeline's wrong. I think if this was, you said, if this is like a further few decades back, I
60s.
I totally would agree with that.
The key thing here is, for me, is the fact this is the judge's son. If this was a black judge's son, doesn't change anything. See, if this was a white, normal family son going up against a black judge's son, the black judge's son's going to take priority over the normal white.
It's a class thing, isn't it, at the end of the day?
And you know what, right? I like this show, but you can't help but see there's woke tendencies all around it. But the problem is...
Around it?
I would say so. The cast is far more diverse than, like, it was in the original show.
Hold on, I pointed that out, like, and you were like, not really.
Yeah, joking. I think it is.
Well, not that much more, I mean...
I'd say it is.
No, I've noticed is that I've noticed a few more random black guys.
That's my point.
Well, that's not the cast, is it?
Well, it's the overarching cast.
No, well, you said the whole thing, so what else? That's suggesting
I mean, even the fact that Sophia, Dexter's going with he's going to be going with a mixed race woman.
It's Miami, man. Miami's full of Latinos. Like, the community's mental.
Dexter didn't go with anybody mixed race in the original show, has he?
That's because he pretty much had the same girlfriend throughout.
Well, I'm talking about the future seasons. I'm going to go about an 11 and say he hasn't.
Right. That's fair enough.
No, I just think because it's a show in 2024, it's obviously going to have these modern problems. I think so.
Aye, absolutely.
So why are you taking it bad?
I'm not taking anything bad.
I think you're greeting me.
I'm not greeting.
You're sipping that woke Kool-Aid. I want Harry Morgan. You know what? Harry Morgan should have... Forget Christian Slater. He should have been Black Slater.
No, honestly, man, this show's actually done a good job of casting its fucking cast members, man. It's not went woke, and it's not actually, that we're going to have a man play a woman, or we're going to have a black person play a white guy. They've actually done a good job of not doing that.
Yeah, I think the cast has been good, but my point is, I think if you look at the department, it's not white majority. It's definitely more equal across the whole police department.
Well, that's fair enough. Let's move on.
Do you want to disagree, or do you want to just agree?
No, I'm the one that pointed that out, so I wouldn't be disagreeing.
That's what fucking agree with me.
You said the whole...
So hold on, if you bring up something off camera, I can't bring it up on camera?
No, you suggested that the whole show's woke.
No, I didn't. No.
There's got woke tendencies all around it. You said all around it, man. All around it. I simply said, what do you mean all around it? Give me more suggestions. To suggest all around it would suggest... Now, I'm saying there's one thing that I found woke... And
yeah, that is one thing, but considering it's like every scene to do with the police, and that is all around it. You've also got Lagarde. I think they're pushing this anti-woman, anti-agenda. You've also got the forensic woman who's pushing the anti-woman. Oh, it was like dinosaurs roamed the earth in the 70s for a woman like me. Right? There is. Compared to the original show, is it more woke? Absolutely. But it's 2024. You've got to come to expect that. That's my point. I'm not saying, there's way worse shows out there. This isn't The Last of Us where they're going to, like, here, you've got to get an hour and 10 minutes of
Well, here, the question wasn't here, is this show more woke than the original? That wasn't what you said all around it, and I'm not seeing all around it. I'm seeing a couple of things. I'm thinking, that seems like it's been pushed a little bit. I don't watch the full episode and go, you know what, all around that episode, man, the entirety of that episode, it was just like pushing wokeness. I don't see that.
I do, to a degree. I feel it's the least woke thing I've probably watched in 2024.
All right, there you go. It's completely.
I just think every scene with the forensic woman, Lagarde, and maybe not Deborah, but I feel like every scene to do with the women that are in the police force, they push the agendas.
Aye, well, I do agree with that. But anyway, we have no agendas here on this channel, so let's push on with the LaGuerta stuff. She finds out, I guess, information. She finds out a lead that Harry never got. Harry offers to help, but she doesn't want the white man's help. So, I mean, straight away, you can see that already LaGuerta, she's trying to distance herself. She's not white. She's not a man. It doesn't feel like she's a team player. Does she feel like an antagonist almost at this point? I mean, maybe we have... Dempsey, I believe it is Dempsey, isn't it?
Dempsey who? Captain Dempsey?
Aye. Captain Dempsey. He doesn't really trust LaGuerta, and he tells Harry to keep an eye on her, so we'll see what happens there.
See this whole no humans involved, right? I'm sorry to burst anyone's bubble, but see if you're a prostitute, drug dealer, or homeless, you're going to be viewed as like a lesser person than a normal, upstanding member of the community. Doesn't mean you're not human. But you can definitely see why the department would do that. But Lagarta tried to make it into a fucking race thing.
I also think you're more likely to be killed if you're on the streets.
Yes.
So I don't think that's necessarily they look down on you because what you do for a living. But I just think I think if you're homeless or you're a prostitute, then you're putting yourself in danger.
Maybe Harry wouldn't look down on prostitutes, but I will. You know what I mean? I don't understand the logic. To me, they are less human. I mean, they're not less human, but they're less valuable than other humans, put it that way. They're more scum of the earth.
Well, you might think they're the scum of the earth, but Dexter doesn't because they're not scummy enough to get on his table.
Well, let's just get back to the class system we discussed about earlier, right? Politicians, police, chiefs, guys at the top of the food chain, guys that are rich, they're whipping out the 7-figure, the 8-figure salaries, alright? Their families are viewed more important than the working class, correct, Amundo? So therefore, the working class is obviously going to be viewed more than criminals. And that is what drug dealers and essentially pimps and prostitutes are.
Well, yeah, like LaGuerta can complain, but at the end of the day, if LaGuerta died and a prostitute died on the same night, I know which I know which case is going to get given priority. I know which case is going to get treated more seriously.
Yeah, and this isn't a race thing; it's a class thing. You're right; it's 100%. You know what I mean?
LaGuerta's an upstanding citizen and a good job, you know, in a community where people will look up on her and go, oh, look at her, there's a woman of colour that's achieved a lot in her career. And that's just going to, that means more than someone that is, she's down that back alley spreading her legs for $50. So, I mean, it is what it is. I don't quite understand how we even got into this debate here, but you can move on if you want.
We can move on. My point is, drug dealers are fucking evil scumbag bastards, and they're not as human as the rest of the normal upstanding members of communities. Alright, so we'll move on.
Yeah, we'll move on then.
So, no humans involved. Get it right, Rooney Lagarta. Harry's the man. And I like the way Miami Metro's floating about and doing this thing. I mean, Lagarta's full of fucking shite, man. It's like, you see her, though, in the original Dexter when, like, things get promoted. And when she gets promoted, and then there's a more prominent case. It's like, oh, but that he's connected to him. We need to solve that. The mayor's pushing us to sort out the tourist thing because the money's going down. I didn't give a fuck about the homeless then, did you? Look at her. It was all about, oh, we got a date because Chief Matthews is up my arse. You know, that's what pisses me off, though. It's all, she's just some jobber, right, that's come in after burying the thing. She's just a detective at this point. But see, when she's like lieutenant, and everything falls on her ass, she doesn't care about the homeless and the prostitutes and the drug dealers then. Doesn't she not? No, she cares about the more prominent case files. So, Lagarta, get it right, Rooney.
The thing, great detail there. Anyway, should we move on to the next thing?
Aye, the next thing, damn it. The Harry flashbacks.
Harry flashbacks, alright. Harry, Laura Moser, using her as his informant, his insider. She's going to get the drugs, try and bring down Estrada. We've got to be a bit more in depth there. She gets taken away in a car. Harry's panicking. They drive on.
I believe the card description here matched the one that Lagarta brought to Harry, so that'll be interesting in the next couple of episodes. But yeah, Laura Moser, is she a jobber? Is she a low member of society? Because she is a drug dealer and she's pretty much a prostitute.
Is she a drug dealer or is she a drug user?
Drug user. She was selling some with Big Joe on the side. She's not exactly the worst drug dealer known to man. But at the end of the day, Harry feared for her here. And this is where Harry's double dipping.
Yeah, Harry's double dipping at this point. You can see that, I mean, I think he cares more about Laura than the case. At the end of the day, she turns up after panicking. She's fine. She's managed to secure a deal. She's managed to secure a meet with Estrada, or one of Estrada's top guys. So Harry is like, great, let's get you home to your boys. She doesn't want to go home to her boys, though. She's like, oh, the babysitter's going to be there for an extra hour. But Harry refuses. Dirty Harry, not so dirty here tonight. He refuses Laura Moser's advances, and I thought the flashback scenes were pretty good.
They were good, and it's exactly what this show should be based around. I mean, some people...
Laura, I don't know. She just looks fucking rough, in my opinion.
Yeah, even
I don't know if that's what they're going for, but like, I'm assuming she's supposed to be young here, but I think she looks older than Harry.
Here?
Aye.
She might not necessarily look older, but she looks a hell of a lot rougher, I agree.
I think the original Laura Moser looked better.
I would say...
I think Laura Moser in the original show looked better.
I would say Harry here's about, what, early 30s? In that ballpark. She's probably roughly the same, probably younger. probably maybe late 20s. Can't remember her age. I'm sure her age got brought up in the original Dexter. But I enjoy these flashback scenes, and Christian Slater, it's good to give him a big prominent role.
Yeah, well, she would certainly be younger than Harry.
I'd say, yeah, late 20s.
Well, I don't know what age she is, but she's certainly younger than Harry.
Well, that's alright, you can hazard a guess like me. No,
well,
no one gets judged here. You're definitely a human for
yeah,
having a guess.
I mean, I'll go late 20s as well, why not?
Alright, anyway.
I'll go 28.
28, there we go, that's a good number. Right, speaking of drug dealing, Deborah wants coke.
Yeah, now she is trying to get the captain of the volleyball team, but there's some bitch there who's pretty rich, got good parents, high-paying jobs, and the girls are kind of flocking around her. But Deborah thinks that if she can get some drugs, if she can score some coke, then that will get the volleyball team on her side. But I mean, these girls are like 16, 17. It's like, should they really be doing fucking coke?
No, they shouldn't be.
Probably not.
At least Dexter comes good though. It's no coke, it's just caffeine and other white shit mixed together.
Yeah, now Dexter notices Sophia is wearing the earrings that he stole as a trophy from Judge Mary, or Nurse Mary even. She wasn't a judge, it's definitely
not a judge, definitely not. Maybe Judge, Jury, and Executioner of all the patients, but definitely not a judge. It was a nurse, alright, with a wee cat. Can't remember what the cat was called, but I tell you what, both his kills so far have had pets.
Aye, pets.
Cats and parrots. I'm home, honey. Anyway, he wants them back, so he buys new ones. He whips out the $100 bill. Deborah's like, what the hell's going on here? He's like, it pays well being a wee jobber forensic man down at Miami PD. Also, it was the first time they'd been down there since she was 3 years old, so a long time, and Santa was sitting right over there.
Well, actually, there was a deal that Deborah said that if he got the coke, then she would get the earrings back, but in the end...
There was a deal, but at least I remember that Mary was a nurse, not a judge.
Yeah, but in the end, he actually had to make the coke and then go and buy new earrings.
He made the coke after the earrings.
So it's like, she never even got them back. It makes no sense.
Yeah, he said it was a plan in motion, though, to Harry, when Harry was like, alright, you getting those earrings, big man, eh? You know what, he gets the earrings back eventually, but at the price of like $100, or just under it. That's a lot of money to be spending just to get some shitey earrings back, but I guess it's evidence at the end of the day. But yeah, pre-med school came in handy, sorted the drugs out. But you're right, like, I get it, they're younger in this, but I almost feel like this is something, but I guess he's got to get this whole drug. It's better to make this fake drugs and go out and buy drugs. A, it costs money to do that, and B, it's shady.
True, but it must have some effect, because they were all snorting it, and they're like, oh, this is some good stuff. And then they're like, here, do you want some, Dex? And he's like, I'm already 2 sniffs ahead.
That was quite funny, that. But yeah, Deborah and...
I suppose if you're 16, maybe you've never had coke then, you don't really know what you're looking for.
Seems out of pocket for Deborah and Dex, this, but I guess they're a lot younger.
Maybe she was rebelling.
Rebelling, aye, absolutely. I guess taking coke's maybe better than sleeping with half of Miami.
Well, I mean, that's probably true. I don't know, maybe she could do a combination of both. I don't know.
Would Lundy take 16-year-old Deborah? Probably.
I mean, Batista, not much in this. Bobby wasn't really doing much in this episode either.
No.
I mean, just the flashback scenes, Bobby was more...
He's got a thicker head of hair.
Yeah, I like Bobby. Hopefully we get to see more of him. And I think that's pretty much it. I can't really think of anything else that we're missing here. If we are, then let us know.
No, that was pretty much it. I mean, I think the show's at a steady pace, but again, we know every character here.
Yes, but the same could be said about every single prequel. You're going back in time, therefore you know the characters, you know what happens, you cannot rewrite history. And I feel like a lot of prequels are simply just there to show us the story of the past and to flesh out characters. I don't think we're expecting anything groundbreaking. We know that Dexter's not going to die at 22. We know that Deborah's not going to die at 19. We know that Harry's not going to survive another 20 years. That's just the way prequels are. We know that since Bobby's not around in the original, that he's probably going to die in this. And we know that Werther's not going to, go out and get murdered because we see her in the original show. That's just the way prequels are. If that's annoying, if that's boring, if you can't accept that, then I would recommend that you don't watch any prequel. But I think this is a pretty decent show. I would go as far as saying it's good. I don't think it's great though. I think the premiere so far is still the best episode. I'll give this a 6. A solid episode, a decent episode, but nothing spectacular, and I do hope it gets better.
Also, another thing that goes against it is the fact that the original show shown a lot. I feel like with other shows, they might not actually show a lot that happened in the past, and therefore the prequel might leave more to the imagination. But again, pretty much 3 episodes in, we've already seen quite a lot of what's happened in the original show, which I think can work both ways. You can look at it as I'm just, recreating content, remaking it essentially, but I like it. I like the fact that you're getting to see, because in the original show, you got to see like wee snippet, 1 minute scene here, 2 minute scene there, but we were getting to build a better rapport between certain characters, especially Big Harry and Big Laura.
Aye, well, I'm giving it a 6. You're giving it a...
I'm giving it a 6 as well. But
that's it. 6 out of 10, guys.
Notion.
Miami Vice. We'll catch you for episode 4. Till next time, peace. Dexter continued where he left off in the first 3 episodes. He made it free for free when it comes to kills, but it looks like this time he may owe an assist to a bit of a drive-by. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. We know that Dexter likes to get close. He likes to get personal with his victims. But in this one, his victim got away, only to run on to an incoming car, which may have actually done Dexter a big favour.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, it was Joe Pantoliano, Sopranos legend, formerly played Ralph Cifaretto. I'm seeing people all over Twitter, right, complaining, oh, this guy looks too old. What happened to him since The Sopranos? Guess what age the guy is? 73, save you the guess. What do people want this guy to look at 73, by the way? I'm actually seeing a lot of outrage about this. Oh, why'd they get him? He's a retired hitman.
Yeah, I think he suits someone being 73 suits that kind of
No,
lifestyle.
but it's like people were pretending that he looked like absolutely done. I thought he looked fine. He's 73 years old.
He looked good for 73.
Yeah, I thought he was a really good cameo in this episode.
He was,
He's
but
a good actor.
it seems to be, I think that's all he will be though, because the ending...
He's roadkill. He's mangled.
Yeah, he may be mad dog, but he was left at the side of the road like a dog. So we can start off with the abducted kid. He's found by a group of runners. He's just hanging there. Dexter then sees the kid, and you actually see Dexter take this pretty bad. Normally, this stuff doesn't really bother Dexter, but I mean, the thought of this kid hanging did seem to mess him up. Or you know what? Maybe it's just a combination of him desperate for another kill when what he really wants is to get his hands on the kid killer.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine Dexter in the normal show reacting like this, but he reacted like here nonetheless, and seeing the kid, or was he just manipulating Big Harry? Making, feeling bad about this to get Harry to be like, oh, you know what, I think we need to fulfill his urges here.
Yeah, I mean, possibly Maria wants to take lead on this, but Dempsey says, nah, you ain't taking lead on this. So you say that every death is important, so he sends her over to some beach where there's some gay guy that was killed.
Tell you what, I thought this was actually a fantastic scene because he just served her the greatest comeback of your time. It was like, well, you said every life matters, you stupid bitch.
Yeah,
so what's the problem? Why are you overreacting if I'm sending you over there? Which just proves the department's fucking point.
Yeah,
so hypocritical for Lagarta, but this was very good.
She wanted to take point on this because obviously it's a big case.
Yep.
And then when he tried to send her elsewhere, she wasn't too happy about it, but then he threw her own words back at her. Well, here, you said that prostitutes and minorities and homeless people, all their deaths, the so-called non-human deaths are just as important. So, yeah, she gets sent over there. Dexter and Saunders go with her. We have some, I believe, homosexual homeless kid that was kicked out in the streets. I think he may have been a bit of a sex worker. He's been strangled. One of the employees doesn't want to help lift the guy onto it. Yeah, I'm not touching him. So Saunders and Dexter lift the kid, and Dexter does what Dexter does. He investigates it. I mean, he uses an educated guess, first of all, which Maria doesn't like. She accuses it of being a guess, but I mean, let's be honest, these guys, an educated guess is all they can really do until they get the hard factual evidence. So I don't.
Yeah.
I think Maria was just taking her frustration out on Dexter because she wasn't happy about this case that she was working on. That seemed to be what I got from it.
It makes you wonder how, Lagarta actually managed to get to the level of an LT.
Backstabbing, I think, and just
backstabbing, anything to do her way to get to the top.
Playing the political card.
We're absolutely right here. It's like,
I mean, she's done that already, and I think that's a separate vid we can make, but she's just arrived, and already she was basically accusing the apartment of being racist and all this stuff, so... I
just don't like Lagarta, man. It's like, Jesus Christ. Oh, you're having a go at him for a guess, as you say. They're not in the lab. They don't have any forensics. Like, you can point everything out and think that's how it happened, but we see, like, later as time goes by, things happen, and then you find, oh, we flipped the body around and it was actually this, and oh, this time of death is at this point. I don't why. Yeah, she's taking it on Dexter, but it's just is she written on purpose to be this fucking annoying? I think she is.
Yeah, I don't think we're supposed to like Maria LaGuerta.
Yeah, she's just the boss that no one likes.
Dempsey doesn't trust her. I wouldn't be surprised if she backstabs her way. Although, I mean, maybe not this young, but, I mean, how did she ascend to be lieutenant? Maybe we'll find out in Original Sin. Maybe we will not. But Dexter wants to commit some sins of his own, and he's got a new potential victim in a retired hitman called Mad Dog. Harry, though, Harry doesn't want him to do it. Harry thinks it's too dangerous. He's like, Dex, come on, you can't go after a hitman. This guy's too skilled. You're not capable of taking him down, which I can definitely see Harry's point of view. This guy apparently has made a career of killing dozens of people. Dexter so far has only got 2.
Yeah, only 2 kills under his belt. Mad Dog looks like he's got hundreds. I mean, could potentially thousands, considering he's connected to the mob. Could be literally something in that ballpark. You've also got you've got Dempsey, right? Captain Dempsey. He gets interrupted here by his wife, and it turns out that his wife cheated on him.
Is he captain, by the way, or lieutenant?
Lieutenant Captain. You know what? He can be the captain of Fog Entertainment because this guy's growing on me.
I like him.
I thought, now, why is it not Matthews? But now I'm like, you know what? It's fucking Dempsey. He owns that role. But his wife's like, oh, I cheated on you because you care too much about your job and you're making us money. What the fuck was this scene?
Yeah, she complains about him not having enough time for his son. And, I mean, the guy works. The guy's got a very important job. I mean, I think that him focusing on this case is a bit more important than attending some football game. Basically throws the fact that he blames her on ruining the family, and she kind of throws back, well, here, if you weren't working all the time, I mean, if you didn't get promoted, then this family would still be together. I mean, really, this guy works hard to get into his position, makes money, provides for his family, and he gets rewarded by having his wife cheat on him. I mean, fucking...
And she tries to spin it on him. Like, see, once he said that, she should have been like, alright, you got me, that was my bad. But no, actually doubles down on him. And again, you know what? Maybe when this promotion was offered to him, maybe they should have all sat down and went, right, are you going to cheat on me if I take this promotion and work more hours, or should I not take it and then, you know, we'll get less money and then we can be a happily ever after. It's pathetic, man, actually trying to paint this Dempsey. Where was this going? And Dexter's outside playing like Pac-Man on the Game Boy with the kid.
Yeah, Dexter's trying to...
I won't tell if you don't, buddy. Here's a Twix.
Socialise with the kid, gives him some chocolate, but I mean, come on. Deborah, though, she wants more than chocolate. Chocolate's not enough to get her high. She's getting cocaine, and I mean, so far from what we've seen in 4 episodes, Deborah's nothing but a foul-mouthed junkie, like, really. I mean, at this point, I can see why she's a bit upset, because Harry does, I think, blatantly favour Dexter, but she's not this, like, you know, perfect child that she makes out to be.
Yeah, you know what? Controversial. I do not care for Deborah in this prequel. It just feels so irrelevant to the main. Like, you see, when we've seen the promos and the trailers, right, and even by the opening intro, they are clearly focusing on the Morgan family, right? They clearly are. There's no two ways about it. To me, to me, Dexter is almost getting as much screen time as Deborah in a sense when you factor in like the intros and shit. Obviously, he's getting a wee bit more, but in the original show, it was all about Dexter. But I like the fact that Harry's getting a lot of screen time. I do not care about her being, 16, 17, and going underage drinking and getting with this guy who lied that said he was, like, you know, an accountant of some capacity, and stealing drink at this bar, or sniffing coke. This guy, oh, that's better than Dexter's coke he got his last episode. I can't help but, you can limit her screen time and still play the whole, oh, well, my family doesn't love me and Harry prefers Dexter over me thing. I think she's getting far too much screen time. And I think you could half her screen time and give it to this case about the judge's son.
I mean, I don't think her screen time would be that much of an issue if they actually done something other than just she wants to party and have fun and drink and do drugs. I mean, that seems to be the majority of... I mean, that seems to be it.
Yeah, I mean, Harry's very lenient. She's like, oh, Harry's a bad man. He hates me, he just goes for Dexter. It's like, yeah, I know Harry doesn't know all about this, right? But he obviously, come on, Deb, you're not getting very good at lying anymore. Harry could be so much more of a CUNT of a parent. He could be like, you're never leaving your room. You know what I mean? He could be like under surveillance, all that stuff. But the fact of the matter is this. Harry's right. She's like, oh, greeting. Oh, you took the truck. You said I grabbed the truck. And then he's like, oh, well, you know what? Maybe a child being thrown off a bridge is more important than you driving your friends to the fucking beach, you stupid bitch.
And she's like, well, fuck, how am I supposed to know now? I can't compete with a dead kid.
Oh, how am I supposed to know? Maybe because your dad and your brother are in the police department in a big city where shit like this happens every day.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to think here. Episode 1, she went to that party, got drunk. Episode 3, got Dexter to make her the cocaine. Episode 4 here, got her own cocaine, went to a bar, then got obviously underage drinking, fake ID, went out with some guy that's obviously considerably older than her. Can't really remember what she did in episode 2, but I'm going to assume it might have involved drinks and drugs. Can you remember what Deborah did in episode 2?
Was it the volleyball game?
No, that was episode 1.
Episode 1, honestly can't remember what Deborah did in episode 2. I think there might have been a bit. I think her and Sophia went and. Was that when they bought the earrings? Either way, right, I just don't really like the direction of this Deborah character. And when we're 4 episodes in now of a season that's probably only going to last 6 more episodes, I don't see how it drastically changes. And like the fact that she's doing coke, I mean, did we even see her do drugs once in the original show? And I get it, it's a lot of years later. She's, a teenager here. But it just feels weird. Feels very weird.
I mean, it could have been maybe what we see in this that'll put her off drugs later on. That'll make her lead a straight life potentially. But I think that's the only reason this makes sense because right now, I mean, she's not even 18, and she essentially just lives this like party lifestyle. It's a bit strange, and I think it's even stranger that Harry allows it. But then again, when he's got a son that's killing people, maybe that's the bigger picture. See, if Dexter wasn't this killer that needed to kill it, I do not believe that Harry would let this stuff that Deb does slide.
Yeah, but you think living the normal life and trying to keep Dexter under wraps and out of the public eye would be to actually pay more attention to your daughter? Rather than just 100% focus on Dexter, who looks like he's quite normal, getting a paycheck now and he's in Miami PD.
He's still a killer.
He's still a killer, but you would think he would focus more on Deborah to make it look like he cares about them both equally, to everyone on the outside. Anyway, though, I just don't think the Deborah scenes are all that good.
No, we go to Flashback City time now, and Laura Moza, she can't meet with the drug dealers because she's got no babysitter. Harry steps in and he spends the day looking after Brian and Dexter. Brian seems to be a bit of, a loner kid, doesn't really seem to communicate much with Harry, but we see Harry and Dexter bonding a little bit, I guess, and is this a decision? I wonder if Harry ever considered adopting both of them.
Potentially, but as he always points out, Brian was too damaged.
And Dexter ain't.
Well, that is true. Guess he didn't realise Dexter was that damaged, though, maybe at the start. But then...
couldn't he give Brian a code?
I see he could have, but when you look at these...
Theory.
Although, raising both of them, I've been a bit mental.
Yeah, but maybe the two of them could have looked after each other and he would have had less worries.
When you look at Dexter at this age, he was in these flashbacks, it's like, would he not be remembering a few things? I don't know. I think in the original show, he appeared, at least to me, to look a lot younger.
Yeah, for me, in the original show, when...
He was almost infant-like.
Yeah, I think they've added like a year or two in terms of the character that plays him. For me, he did seem more like he was maybe 3 or 4. In this, he seems a little bit older than that.
No, he definitely does, but yeah, I enjoyed these flashback scenes. Obviously, you're getting Dexter and Big Harry getting closer, and then you get Harry.
Could they have done a show just on the Harry, Laura Moser stuff, or do you think it's better to include that in the original
I think it's just better to include it in this.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Because honestly, if you take all this out of this show goes down a bit in quality as well.
No, that is very true. We think of Dexter going to play his little mind games with Mad Dog. He's out on the boat where he plans to probably do the kill, but he doesn't realise that Mad Dog is actually renting the boat to more than just Dexter. He's like, you think the peasants you're paying me is going to get you the boat to yourself? No, so... Dexter has to share the boat with a couple. He starts opening up with Mad Dog about his previous life, and he talks about how he used to have to evict people from their homes. And I mean, I thought it was fair. I think he could get away with asking the first couple of questions, did you ever feel bad? But Dexter then made it like painfully obvious that he was taking like a dig at this guy.
Yeah. Which is just dangerous because it's making this guy realise like, is he a cop or
Like,
something?
I think you could certainly say, did you ever feel bad about having to affect like older people or people with kids, and then just leave it at that? But he kept pushing it. It's like, well, maybe you should have felt bad, maybe there was some other way.
Yeah, maybe these foreclosures. But he's never going to outright admit, yeah, I murdered some of these guys. I got so many coffin dodgers out of their house and hoovered all their money off them. Never going to admit to it. But I think Dexter's always had this problem of asking too many questions because he's got no self-awareness.
He does not, so...
I like yams.
Yams, I'm grateful for them. So, he doesn't get to kill Mad Dog on the boat, but he later tracks down Mad Dog in his home later that night. But Mad Dog's a pretty, capable human being. He might be old now, he might be retired, but he can still handle himself. He manages to fight out of Dexter's trap before the plastic can really get wrapped. He's, handcuffed or hand-tied with some form of, tape, something like that. But he manages to break free from Dexter, and Dexter gives chase. We see Mad Dog running down the street. Dexter's chasing him. Mad Dog's pretty much naked, and he's trying to untie his hands. Dexter is pretty far behind, even though Dexter's a lot younger, and he's probably going to close the gap. Mad Dog did get a decent lead on Dexter, but Mad Dog trips over, and before he can get up and continue running, a car comes and just plows into him. I believe killing Mad Dog, and Dexter's left with saying, oh shit.
Oh shit.
Not the clean kill that Dexter wanted, wasn't not able to dispose of the body. I imagine whoever struck in the car, they're going to have to get out. There's going to be Mad Dog laying in the streets. Will Dexter be identified? Will anybody have noticed some young 20-year-old guy chasing this 73-year-old guy down the street? Possibly, but all of a sudden, Dexter had 2 kills that went pretty well, but this one was certainly sloppy. He may have got the kill, but, it wasn't clean.
No, it definitely wasn't clean, but what do you make of Dexter's, you look at the original show, I don't feel like he was ever addicted to killing. I honestly feel like Dexter was more, he actually wanted to, clean the streets of bad people, while fulfilling a certain urge. I almost feel like in this show, he just is addicted to killing. He needs to. I guess this is the start of it.
Maybe the longer it goes, he's able to wait longer. We did see, I think, between season 1 and 2, it was 39 days, and he was kind of reluctant to kill after killing Brian. But yeah, in the original show, it didn't feel like he would rush a kill.
This is very weird, though. He's like, oh, Dad, that guy, that kid getting flung off that bridge, man, I need the kill. I need Mad Dog. Here's proof. Paper shredder. Oh, here's the proof, Harry. Let me kill him, Harry.
I suppose it is different because, he always needs his dad's permission here. Whereas in the original show, he can just do it whenever he wants. So maybe it's in his own time, so he's more relaxed that way.
Look, I guess, but let's be honest, man. He needs Harry's permission. Deborah sneaks out the house quite a lot as well, man. They could both do it. What's Harry doing? Eating peanut butter, man. He needs to step up to task as a parent, Big Harry, doesn't he? But I think that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that is it for this episode.
Dexter did figure out all the stuff in the splatter room where he was like, here, the person was dead while they were getting choked, sort of thing. So I guess we'll find out more about that. But as for the judge's son, I feel like that's just end it.
Will we get another judge's son or another kid kidnapped?
It would feel very premature for this cartel thing just to completely die flat on its arse.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But
Batista and Masuka not doing much.
Yeah, really not. Just kind of background characters at this point. Even Tanya doesn't really do much. We had a scene where Dexter was experimenting and he was using ketchup and melons to show off the kill, and Masuka made a funny joke about Tanya's melons. But other than that, Masuka...
I totally understand, right, why you would want Batista, Masuka, and LaGuardia in here, because they're original characters from the original show, continuity, all that good stuff. But I don't think they add anything. I really don't. I'm not saying they're awful or they're good, but do you not think this show could definitely win on if these three just didn't really exist in it?
Yeah,
the screen time is minimal.
Maybe they'll get a bit more screen time going forward. Maybe they're focusing on Dexter and the main core cast for the first few episodes. Honestly, I think I would like all the characters to get a bit more screen time, though. It's not just I think Masuka and Angel would be great, but I don't think we've seen that much. Or I feel like we've probably seen more old Bobby than current Bobby. I would like to get Dempsey a bit more. And I'd just like to see more of the other characters. But anyway, it's time to rate this one. What are you giving it out of 10?
I liked it, but I feel like the overarching story of the series isn't really there. Like I feel like the basic killing to killing of each episode is, but normally by this point in Dexter, we know what the overarching story is in a season. I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Dexter season 4, and by the end of episode 4, Lundy was killed, and the foundations were well and truly set for that season.
Like this, I mean, I thought it was going to be the judge's son. I thought that, I mean, obviously that killer, right? That's probably going to eventually become the main plot line of this season, but I don't know. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I'm enjoying it, but there is some stuff they need to change.
Yeah, I'm going to get a 6 out of 10 as well. I mean, I'm tied between a 6 and a 7, but I'm going to get a 6.
There we go.
So there you go, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. More Dexter to come. Need to react to the episode 5 promo, and hopefully we get something good out of that. Anyway, guys, that's it. Till next time. Peace. A lot of men have ended up on Dexter's table, but I didn't expect Harry Morgan to be one of them. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. We talk about Dirty Harry all the time, but in this episode, maybe it was Dirty Dexter, because he had his own father on the table. He might not have killed him, but still, it was a weird scene. It was a weird surprise to the eyes to see Harry Morgan wrapped up in plastic.
I didn't expect to see a slice of Harry on the Dexter. Well, I mean, the Morgan's dinner table. Harry's just lying there, man, wrapped up like a fajita.
Yeah, wrapped up like a fajita, about to be carved like a big piece of meat. But that didn't happen. Anyway, guys, this is season 1, episode 5. Title of this episode is F is for Fuck Up, and I think that sums up the Morgan family. You know, they're all kind of fucked up in their own little ways. You've got Dexter, who appears perfect on the outside, but is a bit of a fuck up, major fuck up on the inside. Got Harry, who is trying to be the perfect father and the perfect husband, but and the perfect cop, but has done a bad job of attempting to do that. And then you got Deborah, who appears to be, you know, the one with issues on the outside, but on the inside, I don't know, she's not that bad, I guess. But anyway, we start with the beginning of the Mad Dog's scene, where he is left there after being run over. Dexter has to quickly return to Mad Dog's house. He tries to dispose of the evidence. He gives himself a time limit to do so. 2 police officers will arrive sooner than expected, but after he hides, they both leave, and Dexter manages to get out of there relatively quickly. He gets home, and Harry is there. Harry says that he's heard about the incident on the police report, and he's not happy. Harry, listening to the radio, he says that he needs to get back to basics, and that's it. No more killing, no more leaving the house. Harry's laying down the law, and he's told Dexter the kills must stop.
He's grounded him. I mean, Dexter at this point, 20 odds, 20... got a job. I mean, I'm sure, what's Tanya Masuka thinking? This guy
can't come into work because my dad grounded me.
It doesn't really work, doesn't it? Not. I mean, what's Harry? I mean, I understand what Harry's doing here, but I don't know. Ground it seemed a wee bit cheap to me. But Dexter, so what he does, he's like, right, well, can't do anything. I have to tan these brownies, but it turns out they're weed brownies. And here, if you're into your stoned out comedy, then this portion of the episode, this 10 minutes, was probably your cup of tea.
I didn't find anything that funny about it, to be honest. Oh, look! Pizzas are a circle of triangles inside a square box. I mean, alright, okay, cool fact,
Deborah.
but that doesn't really do anything to me.
Deborah.
Yeah, he kept saying Deborah's name. Deborah then had a couple of the brownies so she could join in. And then probably we got the most interaction between the two that we've seen so far. She enjoyed hanging out with Dexter. Dexter said it was pretty fun too. And then the following day, they're going to go and visit Doris on the anniversary of her death.
Doris is a shite name, isn't it?
Yeah, turns out nobody goes though, apart from Deborah. Well, they do go, but I mean, Deborah goes on time, Harry goes late, and Dexter goes the following day. So, you know, the Morgan family, they all did go to see Doris, but not on the agreed 5 o'clock time.
Who dropped the ball the most here? Obviously, it's not Deborah. She was literally waiting.
Oh, I would say Dexter, because he went the following day, like, didn't he?
Yeah, but I'm not even looking at when he went. I'm looking at like why he didn't go at the original time because he was getting horse tranquilizer, and it's not even like he fucking used it against a killer. He used it against Harry. He could have delayed the horse tranquilizer.
I think he plans on using it against killers, though.
Of course he does, but it didn't. But it's not like he needed it for that night.
Yeah,
Surely that his mum's 5 p.m. ritual thing should have been utilised.
yeah. So after speaking with Tanya, she was betting on horses. Her horse fell, broke its leg, had to get put down. They brought up the whole the euthanasia that they would give a horse to put it down, and it turns out this E-Forn eater thing or something, whatever it's called.
This big drug, man, it knocks out horses, and if it can knock out horses, it's going to knock out a human.
Yeah, so Dexter, instead of going to visit his mum's grave, decides to steal some of this stuff. Harry, we got some flashbacks with Harry, and we've seen his relationship with Laura beginning to grow. I believe they've already slept with each other. She wants to do it again. Harry said it's a mistake, but I mean, you can definitely see Laura at this point. She's the one that is tempting Harry.
Dexter's looking too old, though.
Yeah, young Dexter's looking, I mean, a lot older than he did when Harry took him out of that shipping container, so I think they may be off with the time frame there a wee bit.
I mean, I get it. They need the young actor here to like make you feel a connection between Dexter and Harry for an early age, but then that goes against the original show, because when you seen Dexter in the shipping container, he looked that he was at an age where he wouldn't be able barely to remember, but here he clearly he clearly knows who Harry is.
He knows who Harry is.
He's like, oh, this is you. I mean, he's literally drawn pictures of Harry being a part of his family with Laura and Brian.
Yeah.
But then when the original show comes around, he's like, here, it was, who the fuck are these people?
Yeah, so Harry and Laura, I think, sleep with each other again. Harry returns home. Doris is ready to celebrate. She's planning a celebration night because she's pregnant. And they're both surprised. They weren't really trying anymore. But to Harry's surprise, his wife Doris is pregnant, and I'm assuming this is Deborah. This is where Deborah comes, so aye, makes sense there. Present day Harry, though, he loses a big case against Levi Reed. There was a witness. Harry didn't take this witness into account. He says the witness wasn't reliable. The witness was a junkie, which she appears to be, but he never bothered including that in any of the evidence. And when the witness comes in, looking dressed up, looking, smart in a suit, this goes against Harry, and it means that the case with Levi Reed is pretty much thrown out because Harry didn't disclose all the information. And yeah, he loses this case here. Dempsey, not too happy, tells Harry he'll deal with him later. We do see this scene later in the bar. Harry's drinking himself under the table. Dempsey gives him his badge back. Harry goes to resign. Dempsey says, don't worry, I pulled you some favours. But he lets him know that he's going to be demoted, essentially. In the meantime, he's going to be working the smaller cases with LaGuerta. So we're going to see Harry going around some, not so white neighbourhoods, perhaps.
The court of law, man, is such bullshit. It actually really fucking annoys me that because he dismissed some useless junkie, Big Harry Morgan here's getting done dirty. It's like, so what if he did? Honestly. Didn't even know what case it was for. The person wasn't even making any sense. Oh, he didn't disclose it. Fucking is just... law's just set up to get criminals off. They pretend that it's set up to set the innocent free. It's set up to get the fucking criminals free.
Yeah, Dexter knows this though, so later that night he abducts Harry. Harry's going to kill Levi Reed. Dexter, though, injects Harry with the horse tranquilizer medicine. Harry then wakes up. Harry is wrapped in plastic. He can't believe it. Dexter's all happy with himself, proving to his father that, look, there'll be no more mistakes going forward. I used the plastic. I used the tranquilizer, that this will knock you out for hours. You can't, get your way out of the plastic. It works better on bare skin. And Harry at this point realises, yeah, he's got a point. Once he catches you, once you're trapped here, you're not really going anywhere. Harry, though, demands to be set free. Eventually, Dexter does set him free. And you think Harry's going to be pissed, but then he turns around and he gives Dexter some advice, saying smelling salts, you'll wake someone up quicker, and that way you don't have to sit around hours on them recovering. And at this point, Harry and Dexter basically agree that Levi Reed's got to go.
Yeah, he's got to go. I mean, it was a pretty unique scene. Definitely scene of the episode for me. But I'm surprised Harry wasn't more pissed off. Came out of nowhere. I mean, obviously you knew Dexter wasn't going to do anything to Harry, like, but the fact he's, like, stripped his dad naked, put a gag in his mouth, he's got him tied up, and he's sitting there dancing and swinging about with a big butcher's knife. Pretty crazy scene. Then we see Dexter, like, rearrange the furniture as well, but, again, what's next? Levi Reed. But I mean, Harry was about 10 seconds away from being worthy of the code.
I mean, true, but
you could argue he's killing somebody that Dexter would have killed anyway.
But we've also seen people try to follow Dexter's lead, haven't we? And I mean, Miguel tried that.
The copycat guys and all that, things like that.
Although you could argue they didn't do it exactly the way Dexter would have approved of, so...
No, you could argue Harry's not. Harry's going in with a silencer here. Going to drop him. Also, just the whole case. Oh, partial fingerprints, so it's alright, he didn't do it.
Aye, so, I mean, that's pretty much it. Dexter then visits Doris' gravestone, and he understands why she wanted to send him to a psychiatrist, believing that she saw good in him, but she's gone now, so yeah. We also had Deborah. Our friend wasn't in this episode, but our new boyfriend, Gio, was...
We also seen the guy that run over Mad Dog get interviewed with look like, I'm a murderer, and Dexter's like, it's easy for him, not for me.
Yeah, this guy, I mean, he's not a murderer, he accidentally killed someone, that doesn't make him a murderer.
Appeared like what a split second in this episode. It was like, oh, don't interrupt her when the horses are on. I think there's something off about Tanya. I've seen a lot of rumours that people think, there's a lot of speculation that she's the one that was like cutting the judge's son's fingers off. I think that might be the only twist this show's got to do, because you think of it, what characters can really be the ones that do that? It can't be Lagorta, it can't be Angel, it can't be Masuka. It kind of makes sense for it to be her over like Bobby.
I mean, it could be Dempsey, I guess, but I mean...
Dempsey though, he's
getting away with that, top man getting away with that.
Just makes no sense for him to do it, he's so hell-bent in his job, why the fuck would he do it?
True, I mean...
You could argue maybe she's done it, because I think it makes sense.
I think this show needs something interesting, like a plot twist like that.
I think it makes sense though for her or him to do it, because like that judge has maybe let people off that they didn't want let off. But then also that kind of falls under Harry's regime, but Harry's not going to be doing that. But I feel like that whole storyline took a back seat.
No, definitely.
I mean, and like people were barely... Yo, I enjoy the show, right? And it is filling in a lot of blanks, especially with like Harry's and like Laura's past, but I feel like with each passing episode, it's like, what are we doing here? I mean, what's the end game?
It's a good show, it's just not great.
Yeah, it's like the most 6 out of 10 show you'll get.
I feel like...
Visuals... presentation, I feel like everything's on point in that regard, but a prequel's always limited.
It's a little uneventful.
It's like,
I'll say that.
The less they told you in Dexter, the more you would have got here. But the problem is, Dexter taught you a lot, so the less you get here. Anyway, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, that's why I'm getting this one. I think that... Yeah, I think this is the worst episode so far.
Up there,
I liked some of the scenes were good, but overall, in terms of the actual 50-minute episode, I think this is the weakest on quality. So, yeah, we're at the halfway point. 5 more to go. We'll see what happens. I enjoy it, but yeah, I don't think it's great. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. I would just rather less time dedicated to stupid shit like pot scenes and stuff like that, you know. I'd like to see some of the new characters get more screen time as well. Like Bobby and Dempsey. I'd like to see these guys, Tanya. I'd like to see them take centre stage a little bit more, or just have some more investigations going on. Doesn't feel like there's that much. You had the judge's son, but I mean, we've seen in the last episode he was found dead. It's like nothing really happened, and that was early in the episode.
Yeah,
so we've kind of had 2 full episodes where there's nothing really investigation-wise going on. And I felt like in the original Dexter, you always had a story that involved the department. The department in the original Sin does not feel really connected.
No. Like, she's like, oh, Tanya, I'm way to my daughter's basketball game. Masuka's not there. Harry's AWOL because of the court case. Dempsey's twiddling his thumbs. Angel's just sitting there, and Dexter's allowed to be grounded because of the lack of work. There's nothing happening. I mean, we're halfway through, but I think it will pick up. And I do think the show will probably end with a lead into Resurrection, but anyway, it's a 6 out of 10. F is for fuck up, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't a fuck up, it was no bad.
No, it was no bad, but it was not great either. Anyway, guys, that's it. 6 out of 10. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and peace. Dexter gets a lot of joy out of killing, so much so that tonight he decided to complete the hat trick, get his third kill, and officially become a serial killer. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment here to review Dexter Original Sin Season 1, Episode 6. This one is called The Joy of Killing, and Dexter tonight, when he took out Reed, he made it 3 from 3. Well, technically 3 out of 4, but the third kill was more of an assist from Dexter tonight. He got a hands on. Yes, it may have been a car that ploughed into Anthony Moretti, but tonight it was a big knife ploughing into the chest of Levi Reed.
And he's dead, he's gone, bang, and the dirt is gone. And you know what, we didn't really know 100% if he was the actual culprit. But you know what? Dexter, he made it to Dexter's face. I liked seeing the little ones, you know, the pain and the fear in their eyes, and fucking Dexter's like, this guy's got to go. See, once this guy admitted to it, man, it was done. It was the most odds-on favourite you'll ever see in your life. The Levi Reed's jugular was about to get slit.
Yeah, because I mean, at that point, you're probably thinking, you know what? Dexter doesn't have 100% proof it's actually this guy.
Yeah.
But then he admits it, and then he doubles down. He's like, I enjoy it, especially the more younger they are, the more vulnerable they are. It gets me off more. And Dexter was like, well, that's it, you're gone.
You're gone. Levi's dead. I mean, I tell you what, I actually think a really decent character for what all he was in.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, he could have been involved more, but I mean, at the end of the day, Season 1's not about Levi Reed. But he's a decent, let's say, a decent villain that lasted, over multiple episodes. So, sometimes that's about as much as you can hope for. But we start the episode with Spencer's ex-wife, Becca, getting ready to leave their house with their son, Nicky. I mean, this Nicky kid's supposed to be, is he not like 14? Or is he a bit younger than that?
I think he's I think he's younger than that, I think he's about 12, 11.
Oh, that's still a decent age. He's sitting in the back like an absolute gimp here, just gets taken out. So Becca gets battered, she gets punched, knocked out, tied up. Nicky then gets kidnapped by the masked man. She's unconscious, and then Nicky is taken as a hostage. Becca arrives at the station, reports the incident, and it just devastates Spencer, who obviously now has to try and find his son. And we know the last kid lasted for 12 days before turning up dead. So at this point, the clock is ticking for Spencer to find his son. It's got personal.
Yeah, it has got personal. I mean, obviously you had the judge that kicked off, and now it does point to the cartel. And you know what? I thought this storyline started off a bit slow, but I feel like as we're getting towards the end, there is like serious intrigue about who it actually is. And honestly, I couldn't point a finger towards who it is. I mean, there's fingers being pointed at Gio, right? And we've seen a wee bit more of him this episode, but I think that's so similar to Brian that it would just be ridiculous.
And also, let's say it's somebody in the department, right? Let's say it's Aaron Spencer, or let's say it is Tanya Martin.
Yep.
Do you not think this also kind of takes away from Dokes supposedly being the Bay Harbour Butcher?
Yeah, and also the fact you've had so many people like Christine Hill close to someone in the department. It's like, how many times can this department get infiltrated?
Yeah, it's like when it's season 1 the ice truck killer feels massive, and for Deborah it's like, holy fuck, I can't believe I was dating this. But let's say, for example, let's just throw it out there that her new boyfriend Gio, let's say he is a killer, which I don't think he is, but let's just say he is, because a few people are floating that about. Then I think it does kind of take away from the fact it just doesn't make the ice truck killer feel as special.
Even if they did it in a way where Dexter killed Gio without Deborah really knowing who he was, it would but Dexter would know.
It's the same thing as if, like, let's say Spencer or Tanya, let's say one of them's the killer. Like when Dokes was found out to be the Bay Harbour Butcher, like, the people were like, I can't believe something like this happened in our department.
Yeah, but if it was a regular occurrence,
if this happened before, wouldn't they be like, well, remember that time? So that's always the difficult thing with a prequel. But anyway, let's get.
But who would you put your money on? If you gun to the head, tell me who it is.
I don't think we know who it is.
So you don't think we've not been introduced?
No.
I think it might be one of the old cartel guys who we've seen in flashbacks.
No, I mean, it could be one of them, but I mean, I don't think it's one of the main characters. I don't think it's one of the main or supporting characters. I don't think it's Gio. I think Gio might just be. I think you can see with Gio, he's a bit of a hothead. We've seen in this episode some guy bumped into Deborah, spilled his beer, and I mean, Gio was pretty intimidating and aggressive towards him. I mean, maybe Dexter will see a side of Gio that he doesn't like, and he'll get him to stop dating Deborah. But I don't think Gio's going to be a killer. I just don't see that happening.
I mean, I'm yet really to see a side of Gio that I like. He's just a bit vanilla, isn't he? I mean, he's alright, but I mean, he's better than Anton, I'll give him that, but...
Is he better than the writer guy who went to the gym? Whose name I can't even remember.
But he wasn't treated serious.
Well, I guess.
Was he? I mean, he was in 3 seconds of television.
Yeah, so Harry is obviously demoted to working with LaGuerta, so he can't even help. He can't help Spencer try and fit. He can't help Spencer work on that case. I mean, he's trying to take an interest, but then LaGuerta reminds him, here, we've got our own work to do. And it's like, LaGuerta just needs to fuck off, right? Spencer and Harry are obviously close friends. They've worked with each other for years. It is perfectly normal for Harry to take more of an interest and care more about Spencer's son being abducted, but LaGuerta's shoving it in his face, oh no, we've got a black murder to look at. It doesn't mean that Harry doesn't...
Gay man murder to look at.
It doesn't mean that Harry cares any less about a minority. It just means that... are you telling me if it was his partner's son? So, it doesn't mean, Harry would be just as upset if it was his partner's son that was kidnapped
Yeah,
here.
and you know what, though? Harry doesn't even fight it. I mean, there's no... Here, look, you're in this precinct about 2 seconds. How about you reel it in, and I'll worry about my captain's son.
Yeah, see if it was Bobby. Big Bobby. If Bobby's son was being kidnapped, then I'm sure Harry would be just as intrigued.
Yeah.
But LaGuerta almost shoves it in his face. It's like, no, you can't be worrying about that white kid because we've got minority people to try and solve cases for. It's like, piss off, LaGuerta. Unlikable in Dexter. You can see it in the original sin, she's not likable in this either.
No, she ain't. I'm not saying she's happy.
I wonder if she's as likable in New Blood. In Resurrection.
It's not like... Was it? I mean, I don't even know what I was going to say there. You stole my thunder. What was I going to turn around and say? No, it's almost like part of you looks at LaGuerta and she's like, yeah, you know what, I'm happy. The captain's son's been took because he buried me a couple of episodes ago. He fucking did a couple of episodes ago, by the way. When he turned around and said, here, sure, we don't discriminate, LaGuerta. You get the shite case.
Yeah, we go to... she didn't like that. She was discriminating against the shite cases. So we go to the murder scene. Dexter is describing how the guy died. He says he died via a plastic bag, but not just one plastic bag, 2 plastic bags. LaGuerta just downplays it, goes, I mean, it's just a plastic bag. Dexter's like, nah, it's not a plastic bag, it's a murder weapon. And he draws parallels to this and the other 2 murders that we've seen this season, and he believes that we have a serial killer because these 3 are probably connected. LaGuerta doesn't buy it, and then Harry scolds Dexter, basically saying, look, you're just here to tell us what happened in terms of the evidence, and you leave the theories to the investigation team, pretty much.
I do feel like in the original show as well, though, that Dexter does get a wee bit too involved. But you know what? If the blood splatter guy's actually good at breaking stuff down and solving stuff, you need them more heads. Do you not?
Yeah, if you're...
I think Harry's coming at it from a point of, right, you shouldn't be so descriptive because it makes you sound like a fucking killer son.
Yeah, I think that's... See if Dexter isn't who he is, I think Harry's proud of him for this.
Yeah.
Oh, way to go, son.
But he's got a full house here and he's showing it.
Yeah, but I mean, LaGuerta can say, no, let the detectives come up with theories. But surely, if Dexter is so good at his job, then he might come up with better theories than LaGuerta.
Yeah.
I get it, she's the detective.
I think
and
they're
whatnot.
forcing it a wee bit much. It makes sense for Harry, but it's like everything Dexter says, they just rip the piss out of or shoot him down immediately.
Yeah,
So, where's Masuka?
Yeah, he's just faded into the background. A promising start, but he's just faded And I mean, I think he had one scene in this episode, and it was basically just to tell Dexter to get back to work. Lunch break's over, which was a waste of time. We see Dexter pursuing Levi Reed, and we see him in the bar. Levi Reed's working his magic here, helping a woman play darts. So Dexter sees this, and then the woman takes him into the bathroom, and they get it on in there. And Dexter actually uses this for his double date later that night. It's Dexter and Deborah. They go out with Gio and Sophia. I mean, I just thought it was funny. Dexter, first thing he says to Gio is, "I like your teeth." They then sit down, and Dexter decides to sit in the booth next to Deborah. Deborah's like, "Get the fuck away from me.
What are you doing?
What are you doing, Dex?"
But then he ordered like an amount of food that, I mean, it wasn't ridiculous, was it? I mean, it was a lot, don't get me wrong, but it's almost like they're like, yeah, let's turn up the dork in Dexter to 1,000,000.
And then, like, Sophia was like, "Did you order for me?" And Dexter's like, "No." And I don't know if they're trying to say, "Well, that's poor, Dexter, you should have ordered for your..." But it's like, it's just fucking weird, man, because, like, Sophia's, I'm sure she's more than capable of ordering her own like, you know, food.
And also, I mean, this is like really like the first time that these two have even went out together to a restaurant.
How was Dexter supposed to know what she likes to eat?
I know, they didn't even discuss it. The waiter just came over.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. We then see them, they play darts. Sophia sucks at darts, and Dexter then helps her throw darts, and then she goes and sucks off Dexter. So she sucks at darts, she sucks Dexter. That's pretty much it. They then go and steal a car, because, I mean, why the hell not? I mean, fucking Deborah, Dexter, Dirty Harry's in the police, and they're stealing cars.
Dexter a lot better at hot wiring than Gio.
True. But even then, it's like, you feel like Dexter would be like, "Nah, we shouldn't be doing this isn't right." Even though he kills people, he does seem to have a moral compass, I think, when it comes to, like, right and wrong. And
Aye, the law.
Aye.
Yeah, see this here, though, this is just a bit filler into it. It's just
It
like,
doesn't do anything for me. Oh, she's in the cheerleader. She's the...
we haven't seen her in like 4 episodes.
Yeah, she's the
brilliant.
captain of the team or whatever. Let's fucking take her car and, you know, steal it. Doesn't make a lot of sense
Like,
to me.
see this here. This doesn't need to be in the episode. Like, if the double date scene just ends at them at the restaurant, then that's fine.
Yeah, I thought that would have been better, but it doesn't happen. After the double date, though, Dexter's got a date of his own, and he's got a date with Reed. No homo, though, but we do have some homo with, I forget his name.
Clark Sanders.
Clark Sanders, that's the one.
Clark
So
Gable.
I called this a mile away. Dexter bumps into Clark Sanders. Clark Sanders acts a little bit awkward. He's like, "Oh, I'm just here with a friend." And then Dexter looks up at the bar, and it's like the biggest gay bar probably in America at this point.
Yeah. I mean, oh, brother, testify. Tell you what, though, I mean, I wonder if this guy's going to think Dexter's gay. Or is this guy just more concerned that Dexter saw him at a gay bar? Probably that.
Why would he think Dexter's gay? Dexter's just walking past.
Yeah, but he was walking past the gay bar, wasn't he?
So what, you supposed to cross the street?
I would. So, Dexter doesn't think, though. So, neither would you. Fucking damn right, I'd be across the street quicker than you can say fucking original sin.
Yeah, Sanders is trying to justify and make excuses, but Dexter doesn't care. Sanders probably thinks that Dexter's freaked out, but Dexter's just got bigger fish to fry.
No, but it's just weird that there's a gay club on the fucking street. Normally clubs are inside.
They were outside it, mate.
Yeah, I know, but like, why are they outside at drinking? Clubs are inside.
Maybe they wanted to could smoke back then, I guess, inside. I don't know.
Smoking other things, these fucking...
Maybe had an outside lounge.
Outside. They were fucking standing up. What sort of lounge is a stand-up? Come on, reel it in.
Maybe Sanders wasn't gay enough to get in.
Maybe in episode 7. I've watched the promo, by the way. Don't know why. Why did you watch the promo for the review? Well, I was just so intrigued with this gay storyline yet to see what happened, but there's nothing about it.
Good.
But you can he had the open shirt, man. The nipples.
What does that add? Sanders being gay, what does that do for you with 4 episodes left to go?
It's nothing. Across the street.
So Dexter then finds Reed. Reed's taking a piss in the alley.
I think it's just them
Reed,
kicking a box,
yeah,
isn't it, though? I mean,
that's it. I mean, it's sad as it is. That's pretty much it.
Like, you know what? This Clark Sanders guy was interesting enough with, like, the whole, you know, history with his brother getting shot, and that's why he became a cop. But didn't they turn him gay?
Yeah, turning them gay is done nothing for me.
If he was gay, if he was openly gay to this point...
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, but...
But it's almost like they turned him gay to, like, try and add an extra layer.
Hey, forget about his dead brother, he's gay.
And it's done nothing for me. Dexter then, you know, I mean, Reed likes to take a piss, and then Dexter, you know, puts him to sleep, and Reed falls into his piss, so... bit weird. He wakes up on the table. Dexter's looking at Reed. Dexter, they says, "I remember me, I'm Harry's son." And Reed's like, you're that fuck up. Dexter explains that Harry's, basically trained him to take care of people like you, people that fall through the cracks. Reed proudly admits to his crimes, though doesn't deny it. Says that he enjoys seeing his victims suffer, especially the young ones. And Reed compares himself to Dexter. Dexter says, "I could never be like you. I could never do children. I could never, kill an innocent person." Pretty much what she told at the first Killing Dexter show.
Pretty much so, but I mean, this just makes the court letting Levi Reed off even fucking worse. Here we've got his prints on the TV remote and all over the house, but Harry, mate, you didn't clock in one of these witnesses, so yeah, we're going to let this guy off.
Junkie witness at that.
Junkie witness at that, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty, good scene. I like the fact this guy called Dexter for what he is, and Dexter's like, "I don't touch kids."
But you know what, man? I don't know if witnesses should be legit. Shouldn't a witness need a witness? Because you could just make an alibi for anybody.
Yeah, I know, but it's like Junkie. It's more the fact that Harry threw it out than.
I actually think, like, in terms of a witness or an alibi, you should actually need to be in a public place where you're on camera.
Yeah.
Or you've been identified.
Yeah.
See if someone just says, "Oh no, we stayed home all day and we never left the house." Well, that's just, you've got one person saying that for you. There's no fucking proof.
What was on at the telly at that time? 15-1.
Alright, you could just get a TV guide and have a look at that. So it doesn't really,
No, but yeah, you're right. Like, see, back in the day. I mean, I guess this was 91. It was so much easier to get away with stuff. See, now in 2025, we're like, your phone tracks
Google Maps and shit like that, yeah. But like, see, back then,
it's
like,
not a crime not to have a phone, so that's the only thing. Like that.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Back then, like, it was. I mean, I guess if you wanted to kill somebody, you could maybe leave your phone in the house and pretend that you never.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like there's so much cameras everywhere, isn't there? Like, there's CCTV everywhere.
It's just sloppy for Levi Reed that he was like touching the TV remote. But anyway, killed. Good night. Good kill. We move on.
Yeah, Dexter then, kills him, and he kills Reed, and that's it. Dexter says, "I don't kill innocent people, but you're not innocent." Stabs him. Dead. Spencer then assembles a team to help find Nicky, but there's many questions, and you know what? He gave Batista a bit of shit here. Batista didn't really have much in terms of a lead, and he didn't really like the answers.
You know what, though? Like, the FBI guy was giving him shit. It's like, how do you want him to react? His son's literally on the verge of getting cut up here, and you're fucking telling him to calm down.
Also, do you not think it felt like Batista's maybe a little bit out of his depth here? I mean, he's a rookie at this point. I don't think it should be Batista kind of leading.
I don't think he's a rookie, but it's too early for him to lead. So hold on. See the guy that wanted Harry demoted, not on this case, whatever. Not in number 2 position. That's the mayor whose son got killed, correct? Because he says it comes from the mayor. Why the fuck wouldn't the mayor want the best guy available? Oh, he threw away a witness. It's retarded. And Spencer, if he wants, right, his son found, surely he wants Harry. Fuck the mayor, mate. Your own son's kidnapped.
Well, Bobby's doing it, like, but I mean, I just felt a bit weird that.
Yeah, but Harry's the man. Like you said, Batista's a wee bit green at this stage.
No, he is.
This is pre-evolution.
So therefore,
right? he needs to come in.
So therefore, I just thought it should be Bobby kind of leading the. Leading the what would you call it? Not the
task force.
No, the
room.
Aye.
What
do you call it? We've got a room.
Bulletin board.
Aye, but what do you call it when you lead something? What are you leading?
The group.
No, like the meeting.
The task.
The meeting.
The meeting.
Aye, what's it called? What's the name for it though?
I don't know. What do you mean? What I'm firing.
The briefing.
The briefing.
No, just the briefing.
That's alright.
We've got a briefing in 10 minutes.
Well, debrief mate.
That was a middle finger for anybody who doesn't know. Right, Harry then comforts Spencer. Spencer's like, "I'm sick of people asking me if I want to drink a coffee." Harry's like, "Well, you're in luck. We don't have coffee. We've got some of the strong stuff." So Harry has a drink with Spencer. Dexter then drives to the swamp to dispose of Reed's body. However, he's stopped by the police and they say, "Where are you going, son? This is a crime scene." And we have a body part of Dexter's victim, and it has been found just floating up. So one of the arms that we've seen earlier, I believe it may have been from the nurse, but it could also have been from Tony.
It's Tony Ferreira's. I watched the promo, so it's his ring.
Yeah, Tony Ferreira's, his ring, and at this point we're thinking God damn, Dexter, have you, left some crucial evidence behind? Now, in the flashbacks, we got more of Harry and Laura. Do you not think... I don't know. I think that the Laura looks terrible.
Yeah, she looks rough.
Maybe
I actually think she looks like the woman, though.
Maybe
A rougher version, but still looks like her.
Maybe, but do you not think she looks fairy? She looks like someone that has been on... She doesn't quite look as bad as... What's that woman called in Breaking Bad? The one that's always doing the meth.
Oh, Jesus. Wendy?
Aye.
She's fucking nothing like
She doesn't look...
that
No,
back,
that's what I'm saying. She doesn't look as bad as Wendy, but do you not think she looks like she's rough around the edges?
Aye. I know what you mean, but fucking hell.
Well, obviously Harry doesn't think so.
Aye, Harry doesn't think so.
Harry would fucking... Harry probably got to alligator fucking ocean to...
I know.
He'd probably...
But Doris knows.
He'd probably sleep with Tony Ferrero's fucking remaining arm.
I probably would.
Give me a hand.
Give me a hand. But yeah, Doris gives birth to Deborah. I know about you and whoever it is, brother. Feel it in, Harry.
And she was, like, I guess she was allowing it to happen this entire time. I guess that explains why Doris is maybe a little bit pissy with Harry. I mean, can you blame Doris? Harry negligence allowed their son to die, is what it is. And then he's been sleeping out with Laura while she's been pregnant this entire time. Very shitty move. Look, we can say that Harry was a good father. Well, at least to one of his kids. I mean, we can say that Harry was a good, or at least tried to keep that. But I mean, he's not perfect.
No, he's not.
But here,
I wonder if does Doris know that Dexter is the son of the woman he was sleeping with? Or is that all under wrap? I'm not saying from this show, just the overall arcing bubble.
I don't think it was ever mentioned, to be fair.
Never mentioned? Well, I mean, maybe...
Well, hold on. Thing doesn't know.
Who?
Deborah didn't know.
I bet... fuck, Deborah doesn't know.
Well, I doubt Doris knew.
Well, maybe Doris just didn't want to tell Deborah. But it's so mad, though, that, like, Deborah is literally Harry's daughter. But he could not give a fuck.
No. It's all about Dexter. But in the original Dexter, I mean, Harry acts like butter wouldn't melt.
Aye.
Harry acts like a saint.
Aye. Sits in the
Fucking
corner.
far from it. We see Laura go to a meeting with Estrada. Estrada then... I think we see Santos Jimenez there as well. He cuts a finger of a man, stealing some of their money, and she's warned to stay loyal.
So what is the cartel MO to cut fingers?
True. I mean, we see that there. Also, I mean, it's Hector Estrada and Santos Jimenez, two characters actually from the original show as well, so that's kind of cool. But yeah.
Is that the guy from season 1? With Dokes?
Dokes?
Aye, sure. Dokes confronts him in, like, the Cuban bar.
Season 2.
Is it season 2?
Uh-huh.
Who's the guy in season 1, the cartel guy? He ends up getting killed quite early. Who kills him?
Don't know what you're on.
Is this guy's name? I definitely recognise him. Does Dokes not kill him?
No.
So who's the cartel guy in season 1 of Dexter?
I don't recall no cartel guy.
No, Dokes fucking meets with him, man. I'm telling you, I didn't just pluck this out of thin air.
The guy that Dokes... No?
No, well, you said these guys are in the original show.
Aye, I'm pretty sure Santos Jimenez is. That's the guy that owned the bar. I remember Dexter.
Aye, Dexter kills him, but not the
Aye,
other
but
one.
I don't know.
No, like the modern cartel guy wasn't one of these old guys.
Well, I don't know.
You don't know anyway, but I think these flashbacks are alright, but I mean, how many times do we need to see Harry and Laura getting it on? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He's a dirty bastard.
I mean, it's almost like they're trying to rub it in Doris's face at this point.
I know. But will he... I tell you what, will him calling it quits with Laura be the reason why he wasn't there to save her, potentially?
Maybe.
But he was still first on the scene, like.
First on the scene. Anyway, maybe he never left the scene. It's time to give this a rating, though. What you going with?
What am I going with?
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a good episode. I mean, I could have done with the hijack. You know what? I'm tempted to give it an 8. You know what? I'll give it an 8.
I'll give it a 7.
I thought it was arguably the best episode so far.
I agree, but it's yet to hit the heights of this is phenomenal.
Well, no, it's not. Well, I'm not saying it's phenomenal. I'm giving it an 8.
I know, but
I thought it was good to great.
It's like, see, with a prequel though, it's like, how do you end it by like with a 10 out of 10 episode? when like so much of the future's already set in stone.
That is true. Anyway, guys, let us know your rating down below. We're giving it a 7.5 out of 10. Till next time, peace.
Dexter needs a big bad body solution for his big bad body problem. Welcome back to Fog Entertainment, and I told yous it was Captain Spencer. I called it, alright?
Spoiler alert!
Aye, spoiler alert, straight in there, but you know what? People are commenting, oh, this age's like milk. Well, guess what, guys? I like milk, damn it. I'm like Kurt Angle. I told yous. This guy obviously was the man. I say obviously, right? It could have been someone else, but it was someone definitely within the department when you actually break it down. It was either going to be him or Tanya, but once you see the stature of this like figure attacking these kids and also attacking his ex-wife, it had to be a man, and he's the only guy it had to be. Gio would have been too similar to the Ice Truck Killer, but this guy also has a problem of, well, you know what? Now it just this department has seriously got to come
Dokes,
under.
isn't it? I mean, it's
it's like Dokes, right? And
too close to home.
yeah, of course it is.
Which makes me think that this isn't going to be revealed to the entire department. This could just be a Dexter thing and maybe a Harry thing, but like, I just think because of what happened with Dokes, like when Dokes was found out in the original show to be the Bay Harbour Butcher, everyone's acting shocked, but like, if they've already had someone in the department that was a killer before, it wouldn't be that surprising.
Yeah.
That people would be like, oh, what? Not again? How has this happened again? Now, I get it, in the original show, they can't write for something that they've not even come up with
and
yet.
You've also got the fact that, you've got like characters like, Brian, Christine, who became like significant others of people within the department. So there's a serious problem within this department of letting outsiders in and also the insiders kill people in Dokes. But saying that, I think what's going to happen is Dexter's going to go to Harry about his next kill, and he's going to be like, Captain Spencer, and Harry's like, whoa, what the fuck? And then he's going to give him enough evidence, and Harry's going to be like, yeah, let me confront him about it first, Dexter, and then I'll give you the green light. Because there's no way everyone's going to find out.
Yeah, but do you think Harry would even give the green light for Captain Spencer?
But Captain Spencer's going to go down swinging, isn't he?
I just don't.
I don't think he's going to admit to it.
I don't think Harry's going to consent to that.
So do you think Dexter's going to do it without Harry knowing, and then he might confront him about it after he finds out?
Maybe something along those lines. I just think that if Harry gets the proof that it is Spencer, I think he'd want to do it the legit way and take him down.
Yeah. But then at the same time with that, we don't think that's going to go down that way, because then it just leaves the department.
But here, it will be interesting to find out what Spencer's actual reasoning for this, and is he doing it solo, or like what? I wonder what his.
I mean, obviously he's inspired by the cartel killings, but like, what's his actual reason? And that's another good twist that I'm looking forward to seeing. And you know what?
Seems like a guy that had a really good career.
It's actually for the first time in ages. I can't remember the last TV show we've watched within like this current time period of like watching it as it's airing, of like a whodunit. I'm not saying it's been done to perfection, but it's actually nice to have these like the storyline.
Aye, a wee bit of intrigue.
They're two now. There's two cookie cutter these days.
Alright, so we start with Dexter. He's up at Alligator Swamp, Gator Swamp, and the ring is there. The ring is there of his old victim.
You got the ring, I got City fucking Hall.
Dexter then manages to get rid of the evidence by, I mean, it looks like he took it into the actual alligator lake. He claimed that the alligator came out and I tried to attack him and it ended up getting the hand. I mean, it looks like Dexter literally just went down and tossed the hand in.
The Masukas. Oh, I saved them. I saved them, guys.
Masuka didn't see shit, so Dexter's a wee bit in the bad books there for losing evidence. We then see him get rid of his last victim, Levi Reed. He's in the back of the truck the entire time, so Dexter obviously cannot put him in the alligator swamp now because it's got investigated, so he decides to chuck him in the back of a trash container, and basically this guy's just going to end up in a dump somewhere, a waste dump, and Dexter think that's where he belongs.
Yeah, he is a waste of space. He will probably be found someday, but probably years from now, and it'll just be bones. If he even gets found, that is.
Yeah, like don't those like trash fecals, don't they like compact you and stuff like that? I mean,
yeah, they completely squish you to bits.
So there probably wouldn't be much left, would there?
No, but there'd probably be some form of trace, but yeah, LaGuardia was the only real one here harassing Dexter. And it's like, LaGuardia's just an annoying bastard. But you know what? I think the more this show goes on, I think
LaGuerta is the most one like her original character.
Yeah, no, definitely. I can see the signs coming together
For
already.
saying that, I think she's the one that's been given the most time out of the non-Morgans.
The non-Morgans, yeah. I mean, she wasn't in the first couple of episodes, but I think they're making up for it now. Masuka, I thought episode 1, really good. Just not really followed through, has he?
Yeah, neither's Batista. Either. They're just there. I mean, I get it. Is that all they need to be? Probably, because I mean, what is the need to flesh out those two?
True, no, true.
But,
Get that.
but then you could argue the same with LaGuerta. It's like, well, why she need fleshed out?
Yeah, Dexter's not calling back Sophia. Sophia thinks that Dexter's not interested. She comes to his house, catches him in the car. He explains he was working on a case. She's going to forgive him, but then she sees like a condom thing on his shoe or in his car. Obviously, this came from him being in the garbage. Yeah, but she thinks that no, you're cheating. Deborah tries to defend Dexter, saying, nah, he wouldn't cheat, he's a loser, I had to basically force him to go out with you. It's like, oh shit, that came out wrong. Sophia then and Deborah have a little bit of a fight. Deborah tells Sophia, I can't defend you all the time, I can't take your side all the time. And this somehow leads to Sophia going to one of the volleyball person and telling her that Deborah stole her car. Which, I mean, is a bit bullshit from Sophia, and it's also...
Very extreme.
I mean, it's not even... I mean, it's underhanded, because she stole it as well.
Yeah, I know.
If I recall, it was a four-way
And it's
steal.
not like this person was, like, pushing her for, like, here, I know you did it, but I need proof and I want you to admit it, sort of thing. She literally just dobs Deborah in it for no reason. And I think Sophia was probably the most likeable female up until this episode.
Yeah, I agree. So the wannabe captain of the team is blaming Deborah, saying, oh, your little stunt, you've ruined my car, you've got sand in it. Deborah is upset that Sophia has kind of betrayed her and told. Sophia's like, well, just like you can't defend me all the time, I can't defend you all the time. But it just seemed like a very underhanded way to try and get back at Deborah. And I mean, she wasn't... I wouldn't even say it's not like she wasn't taking Sophia's side over the Dexter thing. She just says, look, Dexter wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I know.
I think Sophia handled this way wrong, but Deborah gets pushed and then she fires back with a punch to the nose, broken nose by looks of things, busted open. She then gets kicked off the volleyball team and gets suspended, so that's her scholarship out the window. She's going to go and meet with Gio. Harry doesn't want her to. Harry says, if you leave this house, you're grounded. But Deborah realises that makes absolutely no sense. She's saying, so you're telling me if I leave the house, I can't leave the house? Yeah, good luck with that one, Dad. Walks off. Again, this relationship here just, it's fractured. It's non-existent. It's not happening.
No, it is not happening, and you know what? You kind of just get... I think they've done a good job with the flashbacks, painting like Harry doesn't give a fuck about his wife or Deborah. He's more bothered about Laura. Even when he picks Deborah up, he's like, what is that? Like, he doesn't give a shit. He never did.
Yeah, so Deb leaves to go with Gio, but she seems to be on friendly terms with Dexter, despite this whole thing kind of spiraling out of control because of him, or at least her defending him.
Like, she didn't even confront him. Like,
yeah, why have you been? Who have you been cheating with, or what are you doing? Or
she was more bothered.
This all happened because I was trying to defend you. And
she was more bothered about he didn't know pager code than did you cheat on Sophia? And therefore, I've been suspended and removed from the volleyball team. My entire future's up in the air because of something you might have did, because I have no tangible proof you didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like out of character. I just expect her to take her anger out in Dexter, like, fuck you. But she was actually pretty nice to him. We got some flashbacks with Harry. He calls things off with Laura. Laura's not happy. I think we get like some sort of flash forward though with the flashbacks because Deborah's now born.
I think it was a 1 year skip.
A 1 year skip, but
Laura's like, I've been doing this for a year.
But it didn't make sense because last time Doris told him to call it off, and then it seemed like he only called it off this episode. So if there was a year skip, shouldn't have called it off like a year ago. But anyway.
Well, maybe it wasn't exactly a year. I think Laura's pointing at the fact she's been doing this for a year. Maybe Deborah's only like 3 months old here, but still 3 months after being told to call things off is fucking late, Harry. I'd say the next day's even late.
No, did she not tell Harry to call off when she found out she was pregnant? Now all of a sudden Deborah's born.
You're right.
But
wait, no, did she not tell him?
But Laura was acting as if Harry was only recently kind of calling it off.
Who really knows? I just think this whole flashback stuff here, I've enjoyed parts of it, but it's the timeline feels upside down.
Yeah, Laura meets with Hector. I think it's Hector in Estrada, and we see him swimming, doing laps, and he invites Laura to come down to the shipping yard for a batch that he's got coming in, a shipment that he's got arriving next week, and obviously we know that's where she dies. And,
but see, should that really? I think they're dragging this out to the finale. It's like we already know. You know what I mean? Like when we wrap it up, episode 8 or 9, sort of talk. I don't know, but I mean, a big Estrada. Like, why is he built like prime Arnold Schwarzenegger? Can someone tell me?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, how does this guy just live in the fucking gym? Does he even have time to sell coke?
Again, I mean, I think that since we know what happens, I'd rather see that wrapped up before the finale. Maybe they will do that. In terms of what else have we got here? Spencer, should we just talk about him then?
Yeah, so Spencer, obviously, we see his son. He manages to make a makeshift weapon, a big sharp pointy object. The box comes through. I ain't eating shit from you, motherfucker. Then he comes into the room. He goes to force feed him, and then this kid slashes at the wrist of this masked assailant. And then, yeah, we see Spencer showing a wee cut on his wrist. It's bandaged up. We kind of knew at this point that it was him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I thought his entire hand was bandaged up.
Yeah, but it turns out
it's just his wrist.
He just had his sleeve like rolled down for that scene, or rolled up. Sorry.
But do you not think like? But see, by the time they revealed it,
it was too obvious.
Well, no. By the time they revealed it was him, Dexter had already pretty much knew it was him, or guessed it was him.
Ah, you're right. Yeah.
I mean, I think there was way too many fucking clues.
No, I know.
I think it would have been better if it at the end when he's buying that's the snacks that he's feeding the kids. I think it would have been better if you thought it was maybe him, but then they confirmed it was him.
I think it would have been better.
But we already knew before they confirmed it was him that it was pretty much already him.
Why not have Michael C. Hall talking as he found out evidence, and then it's the scene of that scene at the grocery store, and as soon as he's like, "Holy shit." It's Captain.
Yeah, because
and it pans to his face.
We see obviously Spencer's reaction to the blood. The kid gets his finger cut.
He was also sitting in Dexter's seat when he came in, and it was just so obvious.
Yeah, so
his reaction as well.
His reaction to the
finger didn't really sound like a guy that was that bothered.
The reaction, he was more bothered about when the blood was there, and they thought the blood was possibly from the killer, the abductor. You know, his face kind of looked as if, oh shit, maybe I've left evidence behind. And then, he was sitting in Dexter's seat, you know, studying this. And I get it, look, it's his case, but seems like he was taking a wee bit too much interest in it. Also, he had, like, the bandaged up hand that Dexter locked onto and took notice of. And then, in the end as well, you know, we see him buying the cereal. But I just felt like by that point, we already kind of knew it was him.
Yeah, and it was a wee bit too obvious. I mean, there's just better ways you could have written this, and I think it confirms to me that it's obviously not his son. What I thought a couple of episodes ago is that when he's like, "Oh, you've been cheating with my wife for the past 14 fucking years," and he flipped the lid over that. Obviously, then his son is what I'd say his son's about 12, 13. He's not like he's 8. So I think that must make this guy whose wife was cheating on son, and therefore why he's cutting his fingers off and torturing him. But then it doesn't really explain the previous killings. Maybe he just killed some random kid to... Well, see, maybe Spencer's been working with the cartels the whole time.
Possibly.
And maybe that's how...
That's why I can't catch him.
Yeah, and also maybe he's the one that gave up Laura. And maybe that's what will force Harry into killing. Maybe that's how it's all connected. Because you think of it, the first kid belonged to the judge.
That's very true.
And he's killing them with a cartel meth, so that's probably it.
Could be it. Maybe, or maybe even the cartel's got something on him.
Aye, so he's having to do this.
You know, maybe
but then,
leverage.
It's not that it seems too far-fetched, but I would kind of be shocked if it is that simple, because surely, what about the cartel members that get arrested?
You say that's simple, but I mean, like, why else would he be doing it?
No, I know, but it's like, what about the cartel members that have been arrested? Would they not be like, well, your captain works for us, I'll give you more information for less jail time? That's the trump card you could use.
You know, I get that, but it's just I just don't understand why this captain would go around, you know, abducting kids and cutting their fingers off. You know, it just doesn't really It means he's doing it because he enjoys it, or it's
No,
some
yeah,
weird sort of
it's
fucking
probably because he
ritual.
works for the cartel. But when the woman at the grocery store says, "Oh, who are these for?" He's like, "My kid. He loves him." It's like, would he really say that? I mean, this guy's the captain of like Miami PD. His face is recognisable. If she has read a paper in the past 4 days, she would recognise that it's his son that's been kidnapped. I don't know, it just seems like an idiotic thing to do if you're trying to cover up the fact you're not the killer.
Yeah, and even the way he said it too happy, didn't he? Like,
He's like, yeah, my boy.
my kidnapped boy, he likes these,
finger off,
man. So, guys, we'll see what happens. But I thought the big bad body problem, it was a decent episode. I liked it. Again, just like the entire series. I mean, I think it's been good, but it just doesn't blow me away. Unfortunately, I'll get a 7. I thought it was good. Not the best episode.
It reminds
but,
me of like season 3 of Dexter. It's good, but it's not great. But it's lacking Jimmy Smits, so at the same time.
Jimmy Smits.
Anyway, I'll get a 7 as well.
That's it, guys. Till next time. Peace. We have just 3 episodes of Dexter Original Sin to go. This was episode 8. It was called Business and Pleasure. And we took pleasure in watching it because business is picking up. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. This is the 3rd last episode of Season 1. Possibly the only season, the standalone season of Dexter Original Sin. And I think it has potential to be the best episode so far. Maybe it will even be the best episode of the series.
I think it will be. I tell you what, I think the bar get raised this episode. Looking forward to discussing it. A lot of returns, a lot of action, a lot of everything.
Yes, we had Miguel Prado, we had adult Brian Moser, and you know what, we also had a chainsaw from the cartel rear its ugly head at the end of this episode. And we also seen that Gio isn't this nice guy that, to be honest, we knew that he wasn't. Turns out Gio is already engaged, he has a fiancée, but honestly, man, that can't be the big Gio reveal, surely.
No.
There's more to Gio than meets the eye. You can see that he's involved with drugs, he's picking up shipments. To me, he has to be in the cartel. He's got to be the son of a cartel member, and I think that's going to tie in to the flashbacks that we're seeing with Laura Moser and the shipping container, and it could be he is the son of someone wanting revenge that Harry put away.
There was a lot of avenues opened this episode that, for me, it's almost like they can't fit it in 2 episodes.
See if we don't see Gio again. See if Gio's done.
He won't be.
I know, but if he is,
It would have been, it's a drop of the ball situation, but Brian Moser, I mean, where do you even begin with this? Let's begin with Harry actually finding out Gio's age. See how this looks.
Yeah, so Harry...
The drugs, the chocolate.
Harry not happy at the beginning. Oh, Deb's missing. Where is he? Aye, she's dating this Gio guy for school. Dexter's like, he's not from school. Why? Where was he from? He's from the year of 25-year-olds. And Harry here, not too happy. He's like, what the hell? God damn it. You need to go and find your sister. Of course, Harry's not going to do it, though, because he's busy with work. He's not going to... is this not... Hold on here. See all the reasons Harry could give to not coming into work today. Would my 17/16-year-old daughter has been abducted by a 25-year-old... and they're up to no good, would that not be a reason for Harry to phone in sick and not going to work?
I don't think he has to phone in sick. I think he's like, here, Spencer, your kid's missing. This bogus fucking triple murder that I'm going to Tampa for is irrelevant. I'm going after my own daughter. Thank you.
Now, Harry did refer to the fact that Spencer and him have got something in common. Dexter was trying to spill the beans that he thinks Spencer is behind the kidnappings. He thinks Spencer is the one. He thinks Spencer needs to go under the Harry code. But Harry was like, nah, Spencer has been my long-term friend. Me and him have been in this business for a long time, and we've got something in common. We both have kids missing. Albeit, you could argue that Spencer's kid appears to be in more immediate danger. But, I mean, who knows what Deb is? I mean, look at Gio, he's 25 years old and he affords all this shit. I'm sure Harry isn't long putting 2 and 2 together here.
Yeah, that he's a drug... I bet you if Harry, frisked him down, had a conversation with him, he'd be able to work out what he is. Harry's a smart man.
It's called fucking Gio. He's got yachts. And he's minted.
He's 25 and he spends a lot of...
Sounds like cartel to me.
Yeah, so, I mean, Dexter, he'll go off and go to Gio's apartment, but, I mean, let's just... Sophia's got a new boyfriend, and just looking at Dexter.
Well, I don't think she does. I think she just grabbed some random guy here and was trying to get him to pretend. But then this guy found out that Dexter's the man that beat up that kid at the beginning. And he's like, oh shit, I don't even know her.
I don't know, Sophia.
Yeah, he didn't want any part of Dexter. Sophia then tells Dexter.
Oh, Deborah's pushing everyone away. It's like, you kind of jobbed your own relationship at Sophia with both of the Morgans, so I bet you know your role.
Aye, so I mean, I don't really agree with Sophia. I don't think.
Harry, yeah, I know, Sophia fucking get in the bin, right? This is where the business picks up, because Harry picks up LaGuerta, and we see this, like, tall, brown lawyer, attorney guy just sneak out the back door. And she's like, it's Miguel Prado. Is that what Miguel Prado gets?
I know, come on.
Yo, I get it, right? No one can replace Jimmy Smits. But it's like, really?
LaGuerta makes a throwaway backhanded comment saying he thinks he's going to be DA one day. Well, turns out he would be.
They said that's... No, but what I don't get is like, the cars where Parry was, where was Miguel going? Does he travel to work in a bin? I mean, what's he...
Bicycle packed at the Barker, or the back or something?
The Barker?
Bicycle parked at the back?
You know what? You've got like a massive universe here with like spin-offs coming out its arse. You may as well use all the characters you've got. And I think they're actually doing the correct call here. But I would have liked this, a wee bit more.
Yeah, a wee bit more, just a little bit more. Just show us something. Would have been good.
But yeah, these two go to Tampa. They get into the crime scene. It turns out the crime scene they're at, the guy was been dead a couple of weeks, so therefore he can't be their man. So they go down to the precinct to look for all the patient files, looking for a name. Harry's like, right, I'm looking at the B's, I'm looking at the B's, I'm looking at the M's, I'm looking at Brian Moselle. And then...
I think Harry knew what he was doing.
Aye.
He went straight for the M's.
Yeah. Now, why would he do that? Because he must have thought Big Brian was it. And you know what? I feel like Original Sin, the first couple of... I don't describe the show as pointless, but it was teeter on that. But I feel like now, with the like inclusion of Brian coming into it, but then it's like, what do you do? Because obviously, like in season 1 of Dexter's just not aware of him. So it's like, it makes only sense if Harry's the guy that only has interaction with Brian. And
yeah, it's like, I mean...
But then why would...
Could they change the entire thing? I mean, we thought that Harry killed himself. What, Brian kills him?
Like, it could be that. And then what also they've got, with Resurrection, Dexter can address that in current. You might be like, well, why didn't he address it in the original show? Maybe he won't find out the Resurrection or something. I don't know how he would find out, but you know what I mean? It's like, at least they can...
Well, Harry's just going to tell him.
You know the way with other shows, like prequels, like Better Call Saul, it's like Walter White can't address it in the future. It's done. Because Breaking Bad's already been filmed. But I think Dexter's got the luxury of like, well, you know what, if they do rewrite a wee bit of the past, they can address it in the future.
Yeah, now, so Harry obviously takes the documents on Brian Moser. He's trying to hide this. He doesn't want it to get out. He wants to keep this secret. Later, when he's getting him and LaGuerta dinner, LaGuerta looks through some of his files, and she comes across this Brian Moser file, and she obviously is wondering why Harry would be hiding this. But, like, doesn't she know about Brian in the original Dexter season 1?
She does. I mean, I guess there's 15 years between the events of this and season 1. I mean, it's an easy name to forget. Maybe, but yeah.
I mean, true. I guess if it's brushed under the carpet,
if she doesn't like look into this anymore,
yeah, then you can forgive it.
And I think the way the scene was done, it was like Bobby got shot, spoiler, and then like they just drove off. So maybe it'll be left at that.
True, but let's say it's not, and let's say there's like a big scene here, or a big investigation, or she calls him out on this Brian Moser thing. That's not something you'd forget in 15 years. So, but we'll see what happens in regards to the Brian Moser stuff. Deborah then catches, so Deborah and Gio, they go out to this island, they're partying, Gio's showing off all his friends. Deborah notices something getting shipped onto his boat, turns out to be drugs. Gio wants her to stay off the boat, says, I thought you were going to be a good girl, but you're sticking your nose in. Basically just abandons her, takes the boat, leaves, and Deb is stuck on her own on this island with nobody other than the bracelet that Gio gave her. But don't worry, because Dexter was visiting Gio's apartment. He was speaking with Gio's fiance, and finds out where Gio's going, where Gio's headed. So he takes the slice of lifeboat Or not the slice of life, but it looked like it.
He takes Camilla's boat, so I don't know. Here, slice a pie boat maybe for that fat
Here,
bastard.
is that maybe Camilla's boat and Dexter bought it?
I mean, it could be.
'Cause I'm pretty sure they were. I'm pretty sure it said the slice of life. I'm pretty sure it was the slice of life boat.
Maybe when her husband dies or something, then he just buys it because they don't use it anymore. But Deborah finds out Gio's doing drugs, essentially something shady. Dexter then turns up, picks her up. It's all good. But it's like the see Gio though. See if he is in the cartel, would he really let Deborah just walk away scot free?
No, but I thought the whole reason. See, that doesn't really make sense. I thought he was purposely targeting Deborah.
Clearly not.
So wait, but here it's like he kind of breaks up with Deborah.
Yeah, and seeing you look at his fiance when you seen that scene with Deck, well, I thought it was a weird scene, by the way she was like so welcoming almost, like, here, come on in. You can phone China. It's alright, you do whatever you want. I mean, Dexter could have literally just walked in and killed her.
Yeah, it felt strange. It felt like she wasn't interested in the marriage, like it was an arranged marriage or something. Or
Aye. But it's like, when you actually look at the age of her compared to Deborah, Gio needs to take a seat. Like, she clearly looks about 30.
yeah, well, I think we already know this.
Yeah, I know, but big Gio, like, fucking needs his hard drive checked.
Right, well, I mean, we're well aware.
No, we are well aware, but
We've been calling this out for a few episodes now. We know that Harry's pissed off because of it.
well, he's in Tampa, mate. He's fucking betting on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Anyway, we then get the call. We see Dexter also during the episode was following Spencer. Turns out Spencer had a package that he gave to somebody, and that package was planted in a cartel house by the looks of things. And it was a shirt belonging to his son. So obviously Spencer wanted to look like the cartel was the ones abducting his son. They get the call out. The FBI, Special Forces raid the house. And then we get a bit of a shootout. The cartel fight back. Guns blazing, bullets flying, and Bobby takes one, I think, in the neck.
Yeah, he takes one in the neck, but you know what? It was Spencer put this in motion. The cartel surrendered. They were at fucking
He put
gunpoint.
the shit storm in motion.
The only reason they started firing and shooting is because Spencer was a hothead. He's got Bobby shot here, make no mistake about it.
Yeah, he did.
Like, they were about to get arrested, and obviously he wants them dead. He doesn't want these guys to go. I mean, it's easy to blame the abduction of his son on these guys if they're dead than if they're alive. Now, I would say next step for Spencer is to kill the guy he paid off to drop that off at the house earlier on.
I'd say that's a good
So
call.
that's probably what was going to happen in episode 9, but what I'm expecting is Bobby's death is going to give Harry the green light to give Dexter to kill Spencer.
I'm still not convinced. I'm not convinced Harry will want to go down that route. I think Harry, if Spencer's done that, I think Harry will want Spencer to pay.
No, I think Dexter's going to be like, we won't be able to prove it in a court of law, but I can kill him in the court of fucking bubble wrap. You know?
Well, I mean, that could happen. So, yeah, Bobby is shot. Bobby is taken away. Will he survive? Probably not. Harry gets there, obviously shaken up about his friend. We have Spencer still freaking out. We've got the big chief, the guy that's bigger than him, has to calm him down. You got Dexter looking on. He speaks about how, he's always been able to see the darkness in other people, and he certainly can see it in Spencer. So, it was a good final scene, I think.
What did we make of Tanya and Spencer's interaction at the end? I think she's almost in on it.
What, with the shirt?
No, not necessarily with the shirt, but it was a weird scene. They hung on it awful long. Don't know why she'd be in on it, but she might be in on it. And I tell you what, I got the fact that this guy was doing it to his own son. I got the whole Brian stuff right with Harry this episode. I got the fact that Gio was a drug dealer and probably in the cartel. I fucking hit everything on the head this season.
You think Tanya's in on it?
I think so. I think there's something in there on it there.
Tanya and Spencer, could they be working together?
But I think it's a bit shite. You get 3 new people added to the force. Bobby gets shot and the other 2 are working together, kidnapping kids. Like, the department's falling on its arse here. Make no mistake about it. And also, we've seen Dexter get the idea for dumping bodies in the water when Deborah threw the necklace away. Also,
which was very good, because Deborah wanted to get it back. She wanted to pawn it, and Dex was like, nah, once it's in the ocean, it's gone forever. Then he looks in, it's like, Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
So, I mean, that was a good scene. I like that.
It was a good scene. I mean, is Nicky Spencer dead? Maybe there's a poll in that. Don't think he is. I think it's going to drag on a wee bit longer. And I also like the fact the episode ended with, "Don't look, Dexter!" And the cartel, man, the blood going everywhere. Good horror vibes. Anyway.
Yeah, so we see Dexter, Brian, and Laura, and they get abducted during the episode.
Harry's fault, by the way, because he went to the swing.
Yeah, and she got caught. Spies, cartel were spying on them. Obviously realised that Laura is a rat working with the police. So they kidnap her. They're in the shipping container. And, I mean, based on how we know it goes down, I imagine that we're probably seeing the end of Laura, maybe next episode. Can they really drag it out? Will they have her survive a full episode in a container?
Nah, I'd be shocked if they did.
And also, I think I would like to... I mean, listen, this is already a prequel, and I think it's cool that they're showing stuff even further back in this prequel show. But I would like it if we can get into the... I'd like it if the finale just focused on the current timeline that it's in.
Yep.
And I think they should end the whole flashback stuff in episode 9, the penultimate episode. But, you know, also, you're seeing with Harry, it's like... Now, maybe we'll see a Harry confrontation with Brian, and Brian might be upset that Harry never took him in and stuff like that. I mean, we could very well see that. I think we will have a showdown, but when you see the flashbacks, it's like Harry did seem pretty close to both. I mean, they almost treated them as if that was just like side family.
Yeah.
And we're seeing them spend a lot of time, so, you know, it is a bit strange for whatever reason. Harry decided to adopt Dexter and not Brian as well. Now, I know they're saying, oh, Brian was too far gone, but he never even tried. It's almost like, from what we know in the original, it's almost like he just carried out Dexter and was like, fuck Brian.
Yeah. Could you argue, though, I mean, the way Brian's went, he's literally just killing innocents, but then you could argue without Harry, Dexter would be killing innocents, so it's a tough one, but I don't think this rating's a tough one. I would get a 9. I thought it was easily the best episode, and it could stand among the best Dexter, well, maybe not the best Dexter episodes, but it could easily be up in the debate for a good, great episode, so I'll give it a 9.
I'll give it a 9 as well. Intrigued to see the last few episodes, intrigued to see Brian Moser and Harry have a showdown. I'm excited to see what happens with Spencer. Is Tanya and him in cahoots? I don't know, it'll be cool to see, and 2 episodes to go.
The only problem with Brian, though, is like, if he's sitting here killing people in 91, 92, why has he waited to 2006 to go after Dexter? Like, what happens in the 14 years?
That's very true.
I mean,
Could he get locked up?
I can't really remember, but seeing season 1 of Dexter, is he not, like, recently out?
Yeah, maybe he get locked up again. Maybe Harry puts him away.
I just don't... I tell you what, Harry, man, it did write in the notes in Brian Moser that my mother's getting close with a man named Harry. Dirty Harry. Anyway, 9 out of 10. Business and pleasure, but the pleasure was all ours.
Dexter's drive for blood is approaching full speed as he is on a mission to get Captain Spencer on his table, but he's not the only one hungry for blood as we get introduced to an adult Brian, also on a killing spree of his own. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, here to review the penultimate episode of Dexter Original Sin, Season 1, Episode 9. And you know what? I wasn't expecting too much from Original Sin. I was expecting just a decent show, and I think it started off that way, but I do think the longer it's gotten on, I think especially since we got into the second half of the episodes, episode 6 and onwards, I think the show has picked up, and I thought it was really cool to have both, and to see both an adult Dexter and an adult Brian going their own separate ways, trying to kill their own separate people.
Yes, I thought it was very good. Brian Moser, we thought he appeared earlier this season. It was actually him, it turns out, when he bumped into Dexter at the bar. Then we seen Dexter when he was chasing, I believe, Levi Reed. We saw an ice truck, but I thought they were just doing these wee Easter egg things. But here, fair play to them. They've incorporated Brian, and it actually makes a bit of sense. And I think it's leaving the door open for a season 2.
No, absolutely. I mean, at this point, they'd be dropping the ball, or at least they'd be leaving a lot on the table if they don't have another season. Now, I mean, I think the only problem is, in Dexter Original Sin, how do you do a season 2, and how do you have Brian Moser be an adult and be involved for the whole season pretty much without actually meeting Dexter and interacting with Dexter? So, as good as I think it could be, and as much as I think there is potential there to have a lot more adult Brian, at the same time, they're also limited because of the original show. You can't have Dexter and Brian meet in
you
this
can't.
show.
No. As good as it got was that wee interaction they had at the table. Because they don't know who each other are. Well, maybe Brian knew who he was, and also Harry has seen this episode that Brian was privy at every crime scene Dexter was at. But in terms of Dexter actually acknowledging the fact that's him, he's never going to do it.
But you could do a lot with Harry and Brian.
Yep, you could, absolutely. And I
So
think that's what they're going to do.
there is definitely potential in season 2 for, to have your own story with Brian and Harry, and who knows, maybe that could end in something that we didn't think actually happened. Harry supposedly committed suicide. Maybe we could see why he done it. Who knows? We have to wait and see. But as for this episode, let's get into it. Basically, Dexter makes a mission that he's going to bring down Captain Spencer. He doesn't need any more proof. He doesn't need any more facts. He's got everything he needs to put Captain Spencer on his table.
Yeah, and when you look at Spencer, it's pretty much all points to him. What about his son?
Yeah.
Because he recognised his dad's cough? You thought this Spencer guy was bulletproof, and then it's all came crashing down just due to his antics as a father.
Yeah, he's desperate to not get caught, and it looks like he is going to get caught by Dexter. We see Bobby. Bobby's in the hospital. Everyone's come to visit Bobby. Everybody loves Bobby.
Bobby!
Deborah goes to the station, and she's in the department, and she begins to look like maybe she could consider this as a career. She's talking with Tanya. Tanya says they need more strong women like Deborah to join the force, and you're beginning to see signs that maybe Deborah's going to actually, mature a little bit, maybe, and actually stop partying and stop dating fucking older guys that are. Dating old. We thought she was dating older guys this season. Wait till she gets to Frank Lundy.
Yeah, we did see Harry this episode telling no more older guys.
Would Harry have approved?
I don't think Harry would approve. Damn it, of Frank Lundy. Maybe his catching, serial killing catching skills but not who he's catching in the bar.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see signs of Deborah. If there is a season 2, we could potentially see her trying to get into law. We could see her maybe trying to become a police officer. But I think it's probably too early for that to happen. So, who knows what direction they could go with there. We get more flashbacks with younger Harry. He reveals to Spencer back in the timeline that he's basically compromised the mission because he's had an affair with Laura Moser. He assumes that Laura Moser is dead, and they go on a search. They're down at the shipping containers. They're opening up all the containers. They're trying to find Laura Moser and the 2 kids, Brian and Dexter. Eventually, they do find them, and they open the container, and there's just like this big, big wave of blood that spills out. Everyone inside the container has been dismembered, apart from the 2 kids. Harry rushes in, grabs Dexter, runs out with Dexter, and just leaves Brian sitting in the corner.
Brian's left alone, all honest Todd.
Then a police officer comes in, takes out Brian, and then we see Laura Moser, who is dismembered. We just see the severed head there, so that's not good for her. She didn't survive that, so...
Yeah, pretty similar to the... I like the fact they didn't waste too much on this, because we've seen it all before, really. But here, it was pretty graphic. We did have the whole scene where Harry told LaGuerta, and she kind of bought it. And then when you had her go into the department and basically ask for the files, it turns out Harry had the files pulled about Dexter being related to Brian, so it looks like he's keeping that under wraps. But speaking of Brian, we've got him playing bingo, and throughout the flashbacks we've seen this woman with this distinctive mark on her face, basically helping foster Brian and Dexter.
Yeah, she promised that they wouldn't be separated, but it turns out that Brian just isn't really a normal kid. They're trying to take them both, but I think it goes too far, especially for Doris, when Brian, it looks like he tries to suffocate Deborah when she's crying as a baby. He claims that she's making too much noise. Harry comes in and like has in my opinion, a too fucking polite, respectful conversation with this. This, let's be honest, this kid that is not his. This kid that he may have got to know over the past year, but for me, it's like this child tried to snuff your infant daughter, and Harry, for me, that should have been it.
Like, I'm not saying, right, that if Harry just, tombstone pile driver Brian here, all would have been sorted. But do you think if Harry just smacked him across the face and was like, don't you ever fucking dare about doing that, would Brian have got in line? What was the correct way of handling this?
I know, because people are going to say, oh, you can't do that, he's a kid. He fucking tried to kill your infant daughter.
No, but see if Harry gives him, like, a proper scolding, right, and screams at him.
He didn't. He was like calmly saying to him, "Yeah, you can't be doing that." You know,
but I'm saying if he does,
but he should.
Maybe that gets Brian in line.
No, I agree. I thought Harry dealt with it like too calmly, and then Brian fired back that he hates him. He doesn't want to be here. He wants to go home, and then he pushes over. He punches this window out.
Yeah, I mean, see the front glass door window?
So little Brian punches the window, smashes it completely, then pushes big adult Harry to the floor and storms off.
There's blood everywhere. Harry's bladed, man.
Yeah, so, I mean, then comes the conclusion that, look, they want them both, but they just can't adopt Brian. Harry, I guess, determines that he's too damaged from what happened since he's older. Maybe it's got it's had a bigger effect on him. And they decide that they're going to give Brian back but keep Dexter. And then we see Brian getting taken away by the woman that he later meets at the bingo. And after he gives her some, I believe he actually tells her that she won and he offers to take her out for dinner. And then he puts her in the back of his van. Later ties her up to this like lamppost and she says that, please don't hurt me. I didn't want you to be separated. And Brian says, I didn't want us to be separated either, but you didn't keep your promise. And now you're the one going to be separated. And then he chainsaws her, I guess, just like Laura Moser got chainsawed. So that was kind of like poetic there. That was a good scene as well. Chainsaw coming back.
No, it was a very good scene, but at this point, I think it's all over for Brian. I mean, for Harry to... is this the final straw for Harry?
What do you mean it's all over for Brian?
Well, I feel like Harry was just going to cover it up to this point, but I mean, literally sawing this woman into a million bits. I think Harry's going to throw the full law at Brian here. No?
So you think he's going to try and kill him?
Well, no, maybe not kill him, but I thought maybe Harry would have given him like a talking to. Adult Brian, a real talking to. But now I feel like
I think he's beyond the talking to. Jesus Christ, he's chainsawed this person.
That's not my point, though. He's beyond it now. I think he's going to send him to the psychiatric ward. Never to be seen again until 2006.
Well, I mean, that could happen. No,
but they're definitely going to have a conversation. Harry's definitely going to meet up with him.
I think they need to have more than a conversation after what happened there. But we then get Dexter. He does manage to get Captain Spencer on his table. He pretends to be one of the drug dealers that Captain Spencer got the shirt from his kid that he planted the evidence with. And he's demanding $5,000 at some sort of games arcade. I guess it's shut down now. Dexter set up a kill room. Spencer comes. I don't even think he came with the money, to be honest. I think he just came with the intentions of killing the man that was supposedly blackmailing him here. But he walks in. He gets taken down by Dexter. Dexter stabs him with a needle through the hand. They get into a bit of a brawl. Spencer's a bit more shocked than anything else because he's like, what the fuck are you doing here, Dexter? And then Dexter manages to push the needle into his neck, takes him down. Spencer wakes up on the table. Dexter reveals that he knows everything. Spencer denies it though. Dexter says that he's sick. Spencer then tells Dexter, if you kill me, you'll never find out where he is. And then Dexter's like, I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to give you a bit of your own medicine. Then he's about to cut his finger off and he says, where is the boy? And Spencer won't reveal and Dexter says, there won't be any hesitation marks with me. And rightfully there's not. He slices off the pinky and then he tells Spencer that he can sit there and try and come to his senses. And when he returns, he wants to know the whereabouts of the kid. But rookie maneuver, Dexter actually doesn't have him tied down. The bubble wrap has obviously been cut so that he could get access to his finger. Spencer manages to escape. He gets into his car. He drives off, and we're going to have to wait and see, guys, in the next episode what happens. But lots going down here. I think the whole flashback stuff, that looks wrapped up. I don't think we'll see any more flashbacks, which I predicted. We've got Brian Moser running around killing people. We've got Harry trying to stop Brian Moser. We've got Dexter now trying to take down Captain Spencer. Captain Spencer now knows that Dexter is this fucking serial killer that is trying to, take down bad guys, and no doubt about it, he is a bad guy. I thought it was a really good episode. I'm going to give episode 9 a 9 out of 10. I thought it was great, and I'm looking forward to the finale, and hopefully, guys, it does not disappoint. But yeah, Dexter Original Sin. It's a show that started off good, in my opinion, a really good premiere, and then it was decent, it was solid, but we're getting now to the final episodes, and it's beginning to pick up a lot, so I'm enjoying it. 9 out of 10, guys. Catch you in the next one. Until then, let us know your thoughts down below, and we'll have some theory fids this week as we approach the finale. That's it, till next time, peace. Captain Spencer was not born a monster, but he certainly died a monster at the hands of a young Dexter Morgan. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. We are back with the Dexter Original Sin season finale. Will it be the series finale? There's a potential for a season 2. I think this finale left the door open for a season 2. However, at the same time, we know that Resurrection is coming out later this year. I think Original Sin was supposed to be just a 10-episode special. So, look, it's been a good season. It's been a good series. Maybe they're content with the work they've done here. But I do think the season finale did leave it open for a second season, and I would be interested in a second season, because I actually thought this was surprisingly pretty good.
No, they left it very open. If you look at forensics, right, I mean, obviously Batista and Masuka, they're established, but if you look at, obviously, Sarah, what's her name, Sarah Wayne Gellar, obviously playing Tanya, I think, considering we don't really know what happens with her, left extremely open.
Well, I mean, she's just a character, isn't she? I mean, I don't... Same with Bobby. I think, for me, the big thing is Harry, and the fact that Harry never really had a final confrontation with Brian. I think that, to me, is...
Well, I kind of think he did get a final I think that was it.
Nah, but you had people saying that they thought like Brian could actually have been the one that killed Harry, or I know that's not the way it's been told in the original show, but here you could it could have been some sort of weird thing where Brian says to Harry, "You kill yourself, or I'm going to come back into Dexter's life." They could have done anything. They could have had him poisoned.
No, I thought Harry was going to, suffer some sort of medical emergency due to Brian and the stress.
You don't know. So look, there is potential that I thought we were expecting in the season finale for either Brian to do something that could lead to the death of Harry, or for Harry to do something that could lead to Brian getting locked away for a lot of time, which would then obviously fill the gap between now and 15 years later, where Brian finds Dexter in the original show. Because it just, at this point, it doesn't seem right that Brian would just disappear for 15 years when he knows where Dexter is.
I guess it's more...
No, would you see that point?
I see your point, but maybe it's by more the point that Brian thinks Dexter's normal at this point, when by season 1 of Dexter, he's more aware that he's actually more like him, and that's why he makes the move. Could it be that?
Yeah, but he must have studied him in that period of time.
No, he must have studied him.
To go, oh, you're a killer as well.
No, he must have studied him, but he still technically stayed away.
I just find it... Yeah, but why... Well, did he stay away if he was keeping an eye on him and keeping tabs on him?
Maybe it hit like 2004 or something. He went, I'm going to keep an eye on this guy.
It just doesn't really make sense to me that even after Harry's death, that Brian or Rudy, the ice truck killer, call him what you want, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me that he would like stay away. Although, for all those years, 15 years, after pretty much, we see in the original Sim where he's trying to get close to Dexter and pretty much spying on him. So I thought we were going to get something where maybe Harry planted evidence on him and Harry got him locked up.
I guess we did see at the end of the episode, he looked through and he saw Dexter happy with Deborah and Harry, and he probably went, well, you know what? His happiness triumphs me trying to get close to him again and messing things up, so he'll call it quits for now.
He wasn't that happy. He tried to kill Deborah season 1, so yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. I thought it was a good finale. Captain Spencer finally meeting his end. I thought Captain Spencer was a good character, but I wasn't blown away in terms of a villain. We didn't really get the reveal to later on. And, I mean, I don't know, as a seasoned villain, do you not think you need longer in the villain role?
Yeah, but we've talked about this 100 times. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense, the fact you've got another guy connected / in the department being bad.
Yeah, this department's cursed.
Yeah, like, I really thought Dexter was going to kill him. He'd tell Harry, and that would be it. But everyone knows. You know, it's out in the open. Batista and obviously Harry talk about later on. But, I mean, and also you've got another decision here with Dexter. Does he kill him? Does he go after him? Or does he save the kid?
Yeah, so Dexter follows...
And I guess that's quite similar to him and Trinity.
Yeah, Dexter follows Spencer. He finds out where he's keeping his kid. Or, I guess the kid's not his kid, and that's infuriated him.
I said that about 7 episodes ago. I said, what if it's not his kid? They've made a big point of this divorce affair that's been going on for years. So what if it's not his kid? And I was fucking bang on the money.
Do we know why he done it though in the first place? Like, why was he killing all the other kids?
Yeah, that's not really explained, is it?
Like,
what would make more sense is he wasn't the one that killed the other kids, but
he got the idea or something?
Yeah, he made it look like it. It was connected. But then it was all similar, wasn't it? It was too similar. Why would he kill the other kid?
I mean, unless he done that to try and draw attention away from his kid, so it wasn't like an individual case.
Yeah.
And it looked more like, oh, his kid was just the victim of a series of... But yeah, look, I thought Aaron Spencer, Captain Spencer, he was a decent character, a good character even, but I just don't think we really got the motive. Oh, yeah, his wife, you know, cheated on him and whatnot, and went with somebody younger, and then we find out the kid's not even his, and...
Also...
I mean, listen, that absolutely sucks, of course, and you can sympathise with him, and even Dexter says to Harry that, you know, he wasn't always a bad guy, he was created to be a monster. He turned into a monster, but, I mean... It just doesn't make sense. Oh, my wife cheated on me, so I'm going to go and kill some kids.
Yeah, and when he's saying to Dexter, here, I'm Miami Metro, I'm the captain, I'm not a bad guy like you. It's like, well, hold on, mate, you've killed kids and you're cutting your own son's fingers off. It might not be your son, but it's still a guy you thought was your son, etc., etc. It's like, how can he really say Dexter's a bad guy? Here, he doesn't even know Dexter's killed anyone. He just knows he's took him.
Yeah, but I think at that point when Dexter's cutting his fucking limbs off and he's fucking bubble wrapped on a table like or shrink wrapped or whatever, you know, you can probably it's not like you can probably tell that's not Dexter's first time.
True, but again, I don't think you can take the moral high ground. But yeah, Dexter makes the choice. He does save Nicky instead of going after Spencer. But as we hear, with Michael C. Hall's talking over, you know, the monologue. At the end of the day, he knew he would end up going after the wife and the stepdad, even though he's actually probably the real father, and that's where he catches him later on.
Yeah, so we see Spencer go to the house. He's trying to... What's his wife called? Nikki? Or was a kid called Nikki?
The kid was called Nikki. I can't remember what the wife
yeah,
was called.
So he fucking... I think he like knocks out the new toy boy or whatever, the stepdad, and he's bashing the door. He's trying to get to his ex-wife. He's like, I'm going to fucking kill you. He admits that he was the one that took the kid. I believe he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He's like, it was me. But see to this point, the only two people that knew it was him was his son and Dexter. He didn't need to fucking admit to this. See behind it. Why?
Yeah, but he's planning on killing her, isn't he? So it's like, fucking, like...
No, I know, I totally get that, but it's like, it almost just felt, not forced in a way, but I guess, if he doesn't reveal this to her, he thinks his son's dead. Yeah, he believed that he killed him. He believed that Dexter didn't save him in time. But, I mean, he's gone.
Did he think that Dexter was maybe dead as well, or do you think he just planned on leaving? Do you think he planned on escaping? Or do you think he planned on just going back? But he knows that he cannot keep being the captain if Dexter's alive. Obviously he knows that either he needs to go or he needs to get rid of Dexter or something like that. So I don't know what the plan was here. But Dexter then hits him with the syringe, injects him. He later wakes up on the boat. He's in the shrink wrap and he's calling Dexter a sicko and all this shit. And it's like, you know, it's like the pot calling the kettle black here. They have a bit of a conversation and Dexter's like, you know, I get it. shite that he's not your kid, but you can't really go around killing all the kids. And Spencer seems to think he's better than Dexter. He seems to think he's a stand-up guy, and that Dexter is like, this fucked up killer. And then he basically just tells him to, get on with it, get over it, get it done with. So Dexter obliges and just slices the throat of Spencer, and then Spencer ends up in the water in little pieces. I like Spencer. I do feel like it was a little bit anticlimactic.
It was, and also the fact that Dexter tied him up on the back of the boat for all to see. It's like, come on, what are we doing here?
See if I had to have one fault with Dexter, it's if you look at the first 4 seasons and then you look at this original sin, the deaths are all very similar in terms of he will sneak up behind you, he will inject you, you'll fall asleep and you'll wake up shrink wrapped. Now I get it, that's his go, that's his method,
that's his ritual.
But it's you don't. Yeah, you might have minor deaths where you might get in a struggle with somebody and they might fall or something and die or whatnot or get pushed into something. But for the main part, it's all the main. You just think could they maybe mix up a little bit?
Yeah, and when they did mix up, it was Dokes, and it was well, Dexter couldn't kill him because it wouldn't have been right, and how convenient someone else does it. You're right. I would like. Well, I guess George King. He fucked him off a balcony and he got run over.
Yeah, but he wasn't the main villain, was he?
He was shite.
For me, the main villain was...
I agree. I would maybe for example, I like the way when he kills Miguel and he kills Brian and he kills Trinity. It's done. They get that final talk, the final fight.
Personal,
it's good. That's better, right, than just walking up and shooting him in the back of the head. I get that, but I feel like sometimes that's what you need to do. It can't always just be the same ritual.
Yeah, some guy laying shrink wrapped. Anyway, that wraps up Spencer. Sophia and Deborah are friends again. So they make up. Sophia felt like, again, I think they dropped the ball with the whole Sophia character. Look, I get it. She was never really there to be a major part. Simply there just to be a friend for Deb, someone Deb could maybe, fent with and maybe give off a little bit to and have a mini, feud with after they fell out. And she was there to serve as Dexter's, first, real experience with a woman and his girlfriend. But do you not think after that episode 6, she just completely disappeared and had nothing to do with Dexter after that? And I get it, that's the whole point, and that's why her and Deb fell out. But it just felt like in the last 3 episodes, she did nothing. But then they brought her back here just to make up with Deborah. And for what point? What purpose?
Why was Deborah trying to bury Dexter here? Yeah, I know he's weird. I maybe should have took your side, but hold on. She was accusing Dexter of cheating, so why the fuck would you take her side?
Yeah,
but you don't know hee-haw.
Do you not think Sophia was a half-decent character, and then episode 7 they just went...
No, I totally agree.
With bigger fish to fry, they toss her to the side and then just bring her back at the very end.
Yeah, I get it. Things come full circle, but again, this is left open. We also had Bobby getting out of hospital. Here, see when he got shot a few episodes ago? I thought he was dead. I thought he was gone. I'm absolutely flabbergasted he survived.
Could Brian have killed Sophia?
He could have.
Some sort of jealousy, maybe?
He could have.
Or could Spencer have killed Sophia? To get at Dexter? Could you not have had that relationship continue on? I just think they could have done more with that character.
You could argue that, but that's pretty traumatising for Dexter, and I guess it would take away from the other stuff.
Traumatising? This fucking guy doesn't feel nothing.
I know, but you know what I mean. Be traumatising for Deborah then.
Yeah, but she doesn't maybe know. She doesn't know how she died. She could have just been, she went missing.
Well, everyone knows how fucking Spencer. What Spencer's doing, but.
You don't think they could have done more with the Sophia character?
They could have, but I'm not going to lie and sit here and pretend that if she was included, that it would have made things better or worse.
No, but my point is, they did include her, for the first 6-7 episodes, and then they just kind of went, you know what?
Yeah, I know, but it's what about Batista? What about Tanya? What about Vince?
Batista, I think, dropped the ball big time here, and the Batista character looked. He might see in terms of appearance. I think the Batista character may have looked the best out of everybody.
Aye.
See, in terms of a young Batista, for me, I think he was it.
We also got Harry this episode basically shoot down Lagorta's fairy, and she overheard it at the door and she was raging.
Well, she thought me led to something.
Yeah.
But it didn't lead to anything.
And again, that leaves it open.
Another reason why maybe
What
get
that
season
does
2.
is pretty much just basically puts a nail in the coffin that Lagorta doesn't like fucking Harry Morgan. He could have put it down a wee bit easier, Harry. I mean, the way he puts it down is almost like he is fucking on the cover up, which of course he is.
Do you think someone's killed Harry, man? See this whole he killed himself? Captain Matthews could be. That could be. Captain Matthews.
What the fuck is Captain Matthews?
Captain Matthews could be covering
Season 2 with Captain Matthews.
Captain Matthews could be covering for someone.
No, I agree. What else?
I mean, the guy's a bit shady, like, well,
let's talk about Brian. We've basically covered everything else. I like the fact
that... the last thing, Deborah decides that she doesn't want to play volleyball anymore, basketball, and she's going to become a cop, which I thought Harry would not have been happy about, but it turns out he's actually, pretty delighted.
Probably the biggest smile I've ever seen in the guy's face.
First time he's actually cared about Deborah. It's like the first time he showed any sort of...
Yeah, that's brilliant, that's great. But, yeah, I mean, that ended the episode with him dancing and Brian watching on. Maybe that's maybe where he got the idea to kidnap Deborah 15 years later. Who knows?
Right, so Harry is with Bobby. Bobby's showing signs of coming back to life. Harry says, "Don't worry, Bobby's wife. I'm going to stay here the entire night." 2 seconds later, pager, dismembered body. He has to go. So Deborah gets to sit with Uncle Bobby, and Harry goes to the crime scene, and I think that it just gives him flashbacks of walking in on Laura Moser. We get some more flashbacks with Brian, and we see that after he was not adopted by Harry and Doris, that he got moved around to different foster homes, and he was not treated nicely. He was treated poorly, bullied a little bit. He never really fit in anywhere until they decided that his permanent home would be basically a mental hospital. And that happened to be all the victims that Brian Moser took out. He took out his doctor. He took out the son of the foster family that took him in and bullied him.
He took out 2 sons. He took out the doctor and he took out the guy at the ward.
Yeah, so his
medicine.
That is the serial killer list. That's the list of victims that Dexter thought led to a serial killing list. And LaGuerta also was kind of believing in on that. And Harry, like you said, shot that down because he did not want to draw attention to that. He wanted to not. He did not want people to, close in on Brian and point fingers towards him. So, I mean, could you argue this? He was no. It's not. You could you argue he was definitely trying to get Brian Moser off the hook. Is this Harry's way of going here? I've tried to save you, now leave Dexter alone. Or is it more of a selfish thing where he just doesn't want to try and draw attention to Brian?
I mean, it could be that.
Because he was trying to cover... Obviously, he's trying to cover up that they had nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
He's obviously doing that because it's Brian that's killed them all.
Yeah, no, that is why he's doing it. And obviously, more eyes on Brian, more eyes on Harry, more eyes on Dexter. But
he's dirty Harry, alright.
He is dirty. And you know what? I think Brian's fucked. There's no 2 ways about it. There's no way he could have put...
Yeah, but I tell you what, man, he called out Harry and he says, you fucked... Not only did you fuck my mum, you fucked her over, you got her killed, you used her, you sent her in to be your informant, she basically got dismembered, chainsawed, and then you stole Dexter from me and left me to the side. You can see why Brian is a little bit pissed with Harry.
No, you can, but at the same time, you can see why Harry is a little bit pissed with Brian. But Harry should have went, well, hold on, Brian. I took you in. I tried to look after you, and I'm sorry, but your mother. But you literally tried to kill Deborah, who is now basically Dexter's sister, and he loves her. You put a fucking pillow over her head when she was like 6 months old. You had a chance to be a part of my family, and I'm sorry your mother died, but that's just the fucking way of it, son. No, let's not pretend that Brian... Yo, see when that shipping container got opened, man, and Harry just fucking sprinted in like you see him Bolt and fucked off, like Jesse Owens.
Yeah, but even then, it looked like he was prioritising Dexter.
You know it did. But know what this boils down to? The care system. Is Dexter no coming with? No, Dexter's no coming with you. Fuck off, Brian.
Yeah, is that wrong?
I think it's fucking wrong.
Despite them being young, should they have kept them together?
Yo, it's
or do you think they think, look, it's worth separating them if one of the kids can have a normal life.
I get that, right? Why should Dexter get fucked because Brian's mentally challenged? Well, mentally fucked. Right, I get that. But see, at the same time...
challenge, buddy.
but see, at the same time, it's like... It's no right. It's not like it was... Right, Dexter's going to stay here, but you can keep in contact. It was all cut. It was all... I mean, literally, that was it. Dexter never seen him again until season 1. And obviously it wasn't something that was facilitated by the state. It was literally just like, you're never seen him again. And I don't think it's right.
Is Brian suffering from the same kind of transformation that Dexter claims Spencer did? He says that Spencer wasn't born a monster, he was created. Could you argue that Brian was created because of the trauma and the stuff that happened to him, and technically at this point he's only killing the people that wronged him?
No, it probably is.
But then Dexter seems to think he was born that way.
Yeah. I mean, it's half a dozen of one, 6 of the other, you know what I mean? It's...
Anyway, Brian knocks out... He knocks out Harry. I could have killed Harry here.
I think this is probably easily one of the best scenes of this prequel. Seeing Brian and Harry finally have a conversation at this age was good.
Yeah, but I don't know, just the way that Brian just leaves after knocking him out, that to me tells me season 2. I think if there was no season 2, they'd have tried to do some... I think we'd have got a bigger payoff.
True, but it leaves it open.
And
we know Brian's not going to kick him off the car
but
park.
I think we would have at least got an attempt to kill him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's killed everyone that's wronged him, and he certainly thinks Harry wronged him and his mother.
Yeah, but he knows Dexter loves Harry, and Harry loves Dexter. So,
well, I mean, yeah.
Well, I put it this way: I think if Harry didn't put himself over, basically says here, without me, Dexter's fucked. I think Brian might have killed him here.
But he knows in season 1 that Deborah loves Dexter, or do you think he's just more fucked at that point?
Probably more gone.
Possibly. Right. Anything else to cover, or are we done?
That's us pretty much done, folks. The episode ends with a bit of a cringy dance.
Oh, well, Dexter gets appointed full-time position.
Full-time, he does the wee spinny seat thing.
He's now the 3rd best in the department, according to Masuka, so... Yeah, no,
what they could maybe do is... that season 2 is in, like, 97 or something?
Time skip?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I don't know if it's specified when Harry died, but... I think what I would love to see is Dokes. I'd love to see Dokes introduced. I mean, who else could we see get reintroduced to the show? I'm trying to think. I mean, you've got countless ideas.
I think Original Sin only works because it shows you a young Dexter starting off. I think if we get a time skip, then...
Are we getting Michael C. Hall with a wig?
No, but you know what I mean? It makes a wee bit less sense to me if we're getting like 5 years later and you've got Dexter, who's an experienced killer, but he's not played by Michael C. Hall. I think the only reason it worked having Michael C. Hall not play Dexter is because it was showing you Dexter from a young age, starting off.
Yeah.
You know what? This was a good series. Maybe they're better just leaving it Maybe they're better leaving it at this and going in the direction of Resurrection. The only thing I would say is I do think that if this is all they've planned, I just expect a more definitive finish.
I agree, but maybe they don't want to do too definitive because they've already got building blocks in place, of course, with the original show, New Blood, etc. They don't want to unsettle the foundations that they've built. Maybe, maybe they don't want to. Maybe they don't want to go down the route that Brian's 100% responsible for Harry's death.
I would just like to see what happened to Harry rather than it being left open and you've got apparently he did.
Taking that much pills would kill him.
Yeah, no, I want to know. But I just want to know what happened to him.
Well, then that's the intrigue, though. That's why you can get a season 2.
Remember Dokes?
Yeah, but that's why you get...
Like, I know what really happened.
Yeah, but that's why if you get a season 2, it can be revealed. For that exact reason. If you reveal it in this season finale, then it's like, well, that's one less thing to do in season 2.
What did really... That's why I think they're getting a season 2.
Yeah, so we'll see. Makes sense. You've got a good cast here. Christian Slater's a pretty big actor playing Harry, so makes sense to get another season out here.
Anyway, guys, that's it. Rating time. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yes, I'll get a 9 as well. I think a 9's a fair rating.
9 out of 10, guys. That is it. We'll catch you in the next one. Dexter Original Sin. It's all over. What would you give the overall series? I'll give it an. I'll give it an 8. I think I would have gave it a 7, but I do believe it picked up towards the end.
Yeah, no, it did.
I think it did.
Now,
I'll get an 8.
The finale set a 10-year high viewership record for Showtime, so that's a thing.
That's the kind of thing that gets a season 2 greenlit.
Yeah, of course it does.
And you know what? Maybe we'll do a ratings video. We'll break down how this actually performed, but that goes to show you that this
is 2.68 million viewers.
Like, this is the best thing that Showtime's had, like you said, in a decade. They won't want that to go.
Oh, of course.
But here they've got Resurrection coming back, but here, why have one show when you can have 2, eh? Yeah, why have one money maker when you can have 2 of them? That's it, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Original Sin, Fog Entertainment. Peace out.